effects are anything but. You can't underestimate the strangeness of the weather.
This morning on Wake Up with Al, 2 days away from the start of fall, but nobody told the temperatures. The thermometer somewhere between 5 and 15 degrees above average. How long do they hang around? Scattered storms across the southeast kicking off the work week, but with over 60% of the region in dry to severe drought, will it be enough to help? And what about the southwest? Could there be more flooding there?
I'm too hot to talk.
And the stars were hot on the red carpet. And we're not talking fashion. How the celebrities cope with triple-digit heat on TV's big night, the red carpet at the Emmys. Wake Up with Al starting right now.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning to you on this Monday, September 21st, 2015. Welcome into Wake Up with Al. Al will join me in just a minute, but let's get to your top 3 weather stories for the day today as you head out the door. And fall warmth. It is still hot out there. Now, in places like the Northeast, it'll start to feel a little more seasonable, but it's still pretty hot. I mean, look at our temperatures here, rising yet again up into the lower 80s. So I don't think too many people are complaining because we'll take the warmth as long as we can get it here. Into the south, still on the soggy side. It's been rain, and more rain here, and it's going to continue. We do have this little low pressure that's coming down into places like Georgia and also into the Carolinas. That's where you're going to see some of these storms fire up through the day today. Now, our number 3 story is the unseasonable warmth for the plains and the Midwest. It is just hot. Not only the Northeast, the South. It's really kind of like cooler in the South than it is anywhere. Into the Midwest, another 5, 10, 15 degrees above average as we start off the week, all thanks to the jet stream being to the north. So let's start off with the warm fall weather into the Northeast. Into New York City and Pittsburgh, you are in the lower 60s right now. Pittsburgh dropping into the lower 50s perhaps before the sun rises. But our highs will be into the mid 70s. So that's at least closer to our average. And, you know, it's still beach weather. A lot of the pools are still open here a little bit later than normal. And have you ever been at the beach and like someone's digging a hole and you're like, oh, you're going to dig straight to China? You know, one of those jokes. Well, if you dig a hole, according to one of my producers, and it went straight through the center of the earth and you jumped in, it would take 42 minutes to get to the other side. If you're ever wondering. That's our crack team producers' fun fact. I don't know where they found that one, but there you go. So here's a look at how warm it's been and how we're on this record pace to be perhaps at a record warm September. So Pittsburgh, remember, this is just through, what day does this go through? It doesn't, through the 20th. So this is just through the 20th. If it got really cold, this could totally flip-flop. We have averaged 71.9 degrees. The record is 68.5. New York also 77.4. The record 73.5. That is significant. Not only are we breaking the records, we are smashing records that have been held for a very long time. Remember, we still have a couple weeks left, so that could change, but we're going to see another several days of the heat. So right now into the 60s to 40s. As you go a little bit farther inland, Boston, you're into the 50s. But again, that warm flow, we have this ridge, a jet stream to the north, so all of that hot air can get as far north as the jet stream does, and therefore will be above average everywhere you see the yellow shading on the map. So it's about 5 to 10 degrees. So our temperatures today, listen, they're going to be a little bit below average, but the warmth comes back with a vengeance. There it is as we head into tomorrow. Even Boston, 68, that's 3 degrees above our average high for this time of year. And then it gets even warmer as we head into our Wednesday. The same for Burlington, 12 degrees above average for you. So Pittsburgh, 72. We will see nowhere near our average highs as we head into the day tomorrow, all the way towards the end of the week. All right, so let's talk about where we typically see the heat, and that is Florida. The skies lighting up this weekend and putting on a light show off the coast of Boca Raton on Sunday. And like much of the southeast, a wet start to our work week could see storms yet again. So how long is the rain going to stick around? Everyone in Florida has been complaining to me, Steph, it's just been a rainy day after a rainy day. When is it going to stop? Well, let's have a look at your forecast. Right now, we do have a little system back towards Louisiana, also Mississippi, and into Alabama. This is mainly light rain, just cloud cover. The same here as we look towards Virginia and also into the Carolinas. You will see some rain more. We see the yellow and orange shading. Really, when you see the green on the radar, mainly it's just cloud cover. A lot of times it's not any rain, but we do have a little disturbance that's moving in early to midweek, and we kind of have this low pressure that's off the coast, and then it kind of retrogrades a little bit. We'll talk more about that with Michael Lowry coming up a little bit later. Otherwise, showers and storms here into the southeast and the cloud cover. Temperature is really not that bad overall. I mean, could be a whole lot worse this time of year, right? So let's have a look at Charlotte. We will see storms as we head into the afternoon hours, and temperatures cooler here than they are into the northeast. Well, it's time now for your morning headlines, and we're going to start you off in Texas, where severe storms swept through this weekend. This is video of a crane yesterday. Heavy rain brought some flooding to the area. Drivers having to slow down to pass through several inches of water standing on the roadways. 60-mile-per-hour winds and golf ball-sized hail were reported. In a nearby Lila Lake, a metal roof was ripped off a home, and there were reports of damage to power poles and also trees. In the wake of the deadly and destructive wildfires, some California residents are returning to their homes, but firefighters are warning of a new set of dangers. Why officials say homeowners shouldn't let their guard down. After your local on the 8s.
Break the ice with breath-freshening, cooling crystals. Icebreakers.
I asked my dentist if an electric toothbrush was going to clean better than a manual. He said sure, but don't get just any one. Get one inspired by dentists with a round brush head.
Go pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's rounded brush head cups your teeth to break up plaque and rotates to sweep it away. And Oral-B delivers a clinically proven superior clean versus Sonicare Diamond Clean.
My mouth feels super clean.
Oral-B. Know you're getting a superior clean.
I'm never going back to a manual brush.
If the Dodge brothers walked into a dealership today, they'd be pretty impressed with what's become of their Maverick car company. With all the power, performance, and ingenuity. But knowing them, they'd insist on serving the donuts. Get yours before they're history.
Let's tap into new floors in a new way. Step up the savings and get moving. Yeah, like that. Let's do this. Hand scrape Saratoga Hickory Lemon is just 99 cents per square foot at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
You tuck here, you tuck there. If you're a toe tucker because of toenail fungus, ask your doctor now about prescription Keratin. Use daily Keratin drops may kill the fungus at the site of infection and get to the root of your toe tucking. Keratin may cause irritation at the treated site. Most common side effects include skin peeling, ingrown toenail, redness, itching, and swelling. Tell your doctor if you have any side effect that bothers you or does not go away. Stop toe tucking and get the drop on toenail fungus. Ask your doctor today about Keratin.
It's more than a network. It's how you stay connected. With CenturyLink as your trusted technology partner, you get an industry-leading broadband network and cloud and hosting services. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
At the Friskies Playhouse, the cats and us are always busy, thinking of new ways to make treat time fun. That's how we came up with new Friskies Pull and Play. With tender string treats cats can eat. That part was their idea. Lucy always thought string should be edible. Chloe thought the same. And Charlie, well, he's up for anything, as long as it's fun. New Friskies Pull and Play with tender strings. The whole new way to treat and play.
Very intense right now.
Oh my God.
That's blacked out. This is so cool.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sun and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 73. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Blind Spot is the show that has everyone talking.
She can't remember who she is.
Critics hail Blind Spot as incredibly captivating.
It's a treasure map.
Electrifying.
I want to speak to someone in charge.
And TV's most exciting new series.
What is happening to me?
Blind Spot premieres tonight after The Voice on NBC.
10 past the hour. Welcome back. Saying a quick good morning to our friends in Chicago. A beautiful start to your work week. Waking up to temperatures in the 50s and climbing to a high of 73 with sunny skies. And legend has it that the famous blue ribbon from Pabst Blue Ribbon was actually awarded to the beer at the Chicago's World Fair in 1893. I know some of you are loving you some Pabst Blue Ribbon out there. So let's have a look at the unseasonable warmth here. That is spreading through the Midwest, already in the 50s for a lot of locations, upper 50s in places like St. Louis and Kansas City at 60 degrees.
That's right. As you look today, you can see, look at that. Wow, nice and toasty. 72. That's a perfect temperature in Chicago. 79 in Kansas City. Tomorrow, the temperatures start to climb a bit in the Midwest. That heat making its way in. North Platte, 89, 84 in Des Moines.
Yeah, and as we work our way into our Wednesday, it still stays hot. I feel like everything needs to reopen. The beaches, the pools, the whole 9 yards, because when it's going to be 80 degrees, you still want to go to the beach.
Man, look at that, 79, your average high, 75 in Chicago. Well, sadly, there's a new wildfire in Northern California. It's already destroyed 10 homes and killed 1 person.
Yeah, located about 2 miles north of the community of Jamesburg, it quickly grew to over 1,000 acres over the weekend. Mandatory evacuations are in place. This video shows the smoke of one resident as he drives away from the area after being asked to leave his home.
Oh, wow. That's just frightening. Well, after days of battling the deadly Butte and Valley fires in Northern California, firefighters say they're making progress, but already the wildfires combined have killed 5 people.
And destroyed nearly 1,000 homes. Linda Muma reports on the cleanup efforts in Calaveras County.
It's still here. Yeah. Thank God.
It's the first time Joe and Arlene Chelino have been allowed back into their mountain ranch home since the start of the Butte fire.
It feels wonderful. I was so happy just knowing that we got through. Because we've been trying for a few days.
After spending their 46th wedding anniversary under evacuation, the couple took a quick trip to the Senders Market to load up on supplies and spent the afternoon evaluating their property for any potential hazards.
I need to rake all the leaves around the house.
Firefighters say once a wildfire has burned through an area, many dangers still remain.
The biggest thing residents are going to find in this area specifically is just going to be the amount of crews that are actually in the area working.
In addition to asking drivers to slow down for emergency and utility vehicles, firefighters are warning residents about trees, brush, and rocks that may have been weakened or loosened by the fire.
Just some of the branches where some of the fire actually went and torched and laddered up into the area fuels. You worry, we call those widowmakers, worry about snags or anything falling down or injuring or even harming any of the residents.
They're urging homeowners to check for burns on the tree trunk and roots that could cause it to become unstable and topple over. And when cleaning up your property, they suggest wetting down debris to prevent any health impacts from breathing dust. Measures to ensure homeowners stay safe well after the fire is out.
We're lucky to be here. We're lucky to have still home.
Firefighters say the Butte wildfire is more than 70% contained, but now they're afraid there's a new heat wave that's going to bring 100-degree temperatures over the next few days, and that could cause that fire to roar back to life. So that area next 7 days, Steph, and the rest of the country?
I feel like it's going to be hot over the entire country over the next 7 days. Let's have a look at where we are going to be feeling the heat anywhere from Billings. Look at Denver. It's 89 in Denver. It's 87 in Miami. 80 in Atlanta, 82 in Billings. Into the Northeast, temperatures, at least for today, are a little bit closer to average, but that's going to change as we head over the next several days. Things are going to warm them up. Even LA, we're going to talk about the Emmys. People were so schwitzing. Crystal Egger tweeted, I don't know if we're going to show it or not, Mario Lopez, his entire back.
Sure, that was disgusting.
Literally just all water.
Wendy Williams said she wishes she was that shirt.
Yeah, Wendy Williams said she wished. So, I mean, Mario Lopez was having a wet T-shirt contest, and it was a white T-shirt as well. We didn't see the front. We only saw the back. Anyhow, we're going to talk more about that a little bit later. You're going to have a wet t-shirt here throughout the plains. That's where we do have a little storm system coming through. The rain for you, rain also into the southeast as we head into our Friday. Billings, 91 degrees. Maybe you're thinking you're getting some fall camping in or for some fall glamping in. It's going to be hot. You're going to need to do the glamping. Do they have air conditionings in those glamping tents?
Some of them do.
That's what you're going to need out there.
All right. Well, you've got to take a look at this. It's an incredible animation that took longer to make than your average Disney movie.
Yes, hundreds of images, 9.5 years in the making, compiled by the New Horizons spacecraft during its mid-July flyby. How scientists are using these images after your local on the 8th.
And it's Pluto, another Disney character.
Hey, see what we did there?
I don't want to live with the uncertainties of Hep C.
Or wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today, there's Harvoni, a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. Harvoni is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment. It's the one and only cure that's one pill, once a day, for 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. With Harvoni, there's no interferon, and there are no complex regimens. Tell your doctor if you have other liver or kidney problems or other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Harvoni should not be taken with any medicines containing amiodarone, rifampin, or St. John's wort. It also should not be taken with any other medicine that contains Sovaldi. Side effects may include tiredness and headache.
I am ready to put Hep C behind me.
I am ready to be cured.
Are you ready? Ask your Hep C specialist if Harvoni is right for you.
If you're taking multiple medications, does your mouth often feel dry? A dry mouth can be a side effect of many medications, but it can also lead to tooth decay and bad breath. That's why there's Biotene. Available as an oral rinse, toothpaste, spray, or gel, Biotene can provide soothing relief, and it helps keep your mouth healthy too. Remember, while your medication is doing you good, a dry mouth isn't. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
You really know how to speed up your cleanup.
Oh, hello, race car driver. Itzy's Bounty with Dawn multi-purpose cleaning towels. One towel can clean your whole kitchen. And the suds dry clear. Bounty with Dawn, speed up your cleanup.
We don't just certify our pre-owned vehicles. We inspect, analyze, and recondition each one until it's nothing short of a genuine certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz for the next new owner. Hurry into your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer during our certified pre-owned sales event now through September 30th for exceptional offers.
This kind of weather, all bets are off.
Smart technology is helping businesses bring new ideas to life. It's changing the way we connect with customers. It's helping us develop simple solutions to complex problems. And now, what powers that technology is smart too. With FPL's new online business energy dashboard, you can see your energy use by the hour to help you make smart decisions for your business. And with a free business energy evaluation, you can save up to $500 a year. Schedule yours today.
Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line wants you to sail away with us. So we're offering an amazing cruise rate of just $109. Your 2-night Bahamas cruise includes 5-course dining, amazing live shows, lots of fun on the ship, and more fun in the Bahamas. For just $109, you can't say no to the best cruise to the Bahamas. What are you waiting for? Call 800-814-7100. That's 800-814-7100.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here. Let's talk about that. Let's lift the base of this. You're about to see something you have never seen on television before.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sun and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 73. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
NASA releasing this time-lapse video of a flyover of Pluto. It was made using hundreds of images sent back by the New Horizons spacecraft during its mid-July flyby, showing Pluto's surface from a height of about 120 miles.
Wow, researchers say the images are primarily being used to map craters on Pluto's surface and its largest moon.
All right, well, 20 minutes past the hour. Time for a little flyby of the tropics.
Yes, and let's talk to Michael Lowry about what's happening off the southeast coast. This isn't the same low pressure we were talking about last week, right? That had crossed over Florida. Now it's kind of retrograding that low that we're talking.
Yeah, Steph, it's a different low. It was sort of a complex setup which happened last week, and we'll get into that. Today, you were noting this earlier in the email, the 77th anniversary of the 1938 Great New England Hurricane. Not seeing that today here off the southeast coast, but what we do have is an area of low pressure right in here. That was the low pressure that we were talking about last week. That is pulling off to the northeast as we expected it to. There was a frontal boundary that came by, and we thought that this would shoot off to the northeast, but right behind it in its wake is an area of low pressure, which you really can't see on this map with the enhanced satellite picture. But when I put on the computer analysis of what the winds are doing, you can see the turning of the winds here. There is that low pressure here. What happened is it never really consolidated. It never tightened up. It was left broad, and behind it, sort of this trough and another area of low pressure that's setting up down here. This one's going to linger just off the coast here for a few days, and we're going to watch it for the possibility of tropical development, although it doesn't look all that likely, and I'll show why in just a minute. Here's the forecast from our computer models. Here we are today, and you can see the low pressure sitting there. It's going to retrograde back to the west, sort of sitting for a little while, but then eventually there's a cutoff low that's going to help to tug it back toward the coast for the latter part of the week. As it does so, there is high pressure here to the north, so pretty strong winds in between this low pressure here and high pressure to the north. So we're going to have a very strong onshore flow along the coast, which means that we could see the enhanced rip currents. We could see the gusty winds, sort of like a coastal low type setup. But look what's happening here at the upper part of the atmosphere. There's a heck of a lot of wind shear going on here all the way up and down the east coast. That's going to prevent this thing, I think, from developing into anything tropically, but it's going to be an annoyance and a nuisance, especially really the middle to latter part of the week here for the Carolinas. But again, no tropical development likely with that one. Elsewhere here in the tropics, we're going to talk about this. Actually, you guys are going to talk about this in a second. Tropical Depression 16E, what that could mean for the southwest. Tropical Storm Ida, this one strengthened a little bit this morning. 50-mile-per-hour winds moving toward the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Not a threat to the U.S. Not surprising. We haven't had any of these systems really make it across the Atlantic this hurricane season. So good news here, really, in the Atlantic. Back to you.
Okay, and also we are seeing rain here into the southwest, and this is all of some, not all, but we are seeing some tropical component of it as well. You can see this blob of moisture coming over the Baja, over Mexico, and spreading up into the Four Corners. This is our water vapor, shows us the moisture in the mid to upper levels. So there it is. There's that tropical moisture that's going to be spreading inland, and it is going to get into, kind of right around all of the Four Corners. Otherwise, then we have this upper level low moving in to enhance it, and that was the trough. I didn't get a chance to point it out there on the water vapor, but if you had a better eye than I was able to get from my brain out to my mouth, we did see that low coming on in. So as we head through tonight and into the day tomorrow, we are going to see some more scattered showers and thunderstorms for the southwest. There it is, making its way up into Utah, also into Colorado as well. Colorado has been so stinking hot. I'm not saying it's stinking. I'm just saying that it's hot, you know.
Just an adjective to describe the heat. 3 to 5 inches in some parts of the southwest. Well, some of the biggest stars in show business were literally sweating it out on the red carpet.
Temperatures almost reaching triple digits. Next, wearing tuxedos and long dresses. How they had to get creative to stay cool.
Breathtaking peppermint. Rich, dark chocolate. York peppermint patty. Get the sensation.
It's so shiny. I know, Mommy, but it's time to let the new kitchen get some sleep.
If you want beautiful results, you know where to go. Angie's List. Everyone can shop for services from highly rated companies, even without a membership. But as a member, you can save more, and you get exclusive access to ratings and reviews. Angie's List is there for all your projects, big and small. Pretty.
Come see what the new Angie's List can do for you.
Not so long ago, on a street just around the corner,
Dad.
the force was strong between father and son.
You got it?
What are you doing, buddy?
It's my You Walk Happy dance.
Of course it is. Today,
Hello. Hey, Daddy.
it is passed on to a new generation.
You got it.
You walk dance?
Yeah.
And the circle is now complete. Walmart has always been the best place in the galaxy to get everyday low prices on Star Wars.
Make a wish.
Who wants cake?
She does.
Get your flu shot at Rite Aid today because your coworkers didn't.
Looking for a delicious dinner idea? Make tonight white chicken chili night. Start with Bush's white chili beans, simmered in our flavorful chili sauce. Then add rotisserie chicken. Punch it up with a little heat. And a few ingredients from your pantry. It's easy to make the perfect pot of chili every time. Make your chili better with Bush's white chili beans. For this and more great chili recipes, visit bushbeans.com.
Every auto insurance policy has a number. But not every insurance company understands the life behind it. Those who have served our nation have earned the very best service in return. USAA. We know what it means to serve. Get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Hey, Ted. Hey, how's it going? Good. How you doing? Better.
Life's bleachable moments need Clorox bleach.
Hey neighbor, LED bulbs can last for over 20 years and save hundreds of dollars on your energy bill. So stop by your neighborhood Ace now and get an LED dimmable indoor reflector bonus pack with 2 free bulbs.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
What's up with this weather, huh?
Today's weather? Well, I'd get things done this morning because we've got some big changes rolling through this afternoon. Jim Cantori has that.
Sam, this is fascinating. Rapidly rising warm, moist air creating this huge cumulonimbus cloud. Oftentimes, the results can be electrifying. Back to you, Sam.
Great job, Jim. That should get you started on your day. So now, back to you.
Back to me.
Sam Champion on the Weather Channel. Weather Precise.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, sun and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 73. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
29 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al.
We've got all the information you need to start out your day, but first, farming is a tough life. You're dependent on the weather, good soil, and a plethora of other factors to get your crop in on time.
That's right, but what happens when you're facing all that and you're disabled? Well, there's one group that's giving a helping paw from humankind's best friend. All right, let's start first, though, before we get to the story. It's a terrific one. You want to stand by for this. Let's get you your top 3. Look at these temperatures. Okay, fall? Really? Not so much. 80 by Wednesday, Pittsburgh. 81 in Philadelphia. Wednesday, 81 in New York City. Only really nice, cool spot, Boston, 75. Number 2, we've got a stormy southeast. Got some wet weather pushing through as the stationary front sags south. We're going to be looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then we've got an unseasonably warm plains and Midwest jet streams up to the north, and that heat builds 5 to 15 degrees above average for Denver, Oklahoma, Dallas, St. Louis, Wichita, on into Kansas City.
You know, fall starts officially on Wednesday.
That's right. Seems a little late this year.
A little late and also a little hot. Like you said, it's going to be basically our hottest day on Wednesday. Let's get to the unseasonable warmth and take you live into Washington, D.C., Hartford, Connecticut, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All of our temperatures above average across the Northeast. You're going to see a high of about 70 in Philly, Hartford 74, and a little Monday trivia for you. Did you know the Queen of the UK is the legal owner of 1/6 of the Earth's land surface? That's about 6.6 billion acres.
Wow.
Think during the height of when, you know, they owned like everything. Yep. They owned a lot for a while there. All right, let's talk about the warmth. And first, we're going to have a little bit of a little taste of what's to come here. Here's where we have frost advisories for Maine, also portions of really all the way down into New York around Saranac Lake. That's where we are seeing it. New Hampshire, you're seeing some of those advisories as well. So our temperatures this morning, up into those areas, of course, into elevation, you do have some cooler air. But overall, we're seeing very warm temperatures in the 60s. I mean, this is just 10 degrees cooler than where we should be at the hottest part of the day, which is typically around 2, 3 o'clock. So we are seeing warm air in place, all thanks to our jet stream. This low pressure, this is kind of retrograding. We'll talk more about this little low a little bit later. But mainly, we have this big ridge in place, and that's what's causing all of the heat. When you have a ridge, that means that the air is being suppressed. A couple things that happens. A, the air warms when it suppresses, and B, when it suppresses, you don't have clouds, so you get straight sunshine here. So that's kind of the double whammy with your high pressure. So today, just a touch below average, but it doesn't last. Al showed you that in the top 3. As we head into our Tuesday and then Wednesday on the first day of fall, that's when we are going to see the heat return, and it's going to return strong here. I mean, it's going to flex its muscle. Look at Burlington, 12 degrees above average at 78 degrees. Washington, D.C., you are going to be climbing up as well. We're not going to be too far above average, but still, Al, we're in the red here.
That's for sure. Well, let's take a look at what's been going on in southern Florida. A bunch of storms moving in. This from a young man who may have a future in this business. This video shot by a guy, Sam Champion. Anyway, showers popped up. About 2 inches of rain last night. So we're talking about a lot of lightning, too. 200 strikes in about 15 minutes, about 8 o'clock. Miami, though, of course, about 10 inches below where they are. They would need that to get rid of the drought. So, Sam, thanks for shooting that video, and you shot it the right way, too. We appreciate that. All right, let's show you what we've got going on right now in the southeast. You got that wet weather from Houston on into central Louisiana, Montgomery, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi. Pretty good line of thunderstorms moving to the north of Jackson. So, basically, early to midweek, we've got all this moist air in place off the southeastern Atlantic coast. Got this disturbance moving in. Jet stream takes a bit of a dip, and then these storms are just going to start popping up and down, these little pop-up storms. As we put the radar into motion starting off this morning, you can see those showers and thunderstorms firing up as the afternoon wears on. As we move into the late afternoon hours, some activity stays to the south of Atlanta. Sunshine in Jackson, showers in Roanoke, the way it's looking right now. We expect to see the drought, though, to continue abnormally dry throughout much of the southeast. So we're going to they'll be thrilled with any amount of rain they get.
That they will. Time now for your morning headlines. First, a marriage proposal on the water in New York. Then, the happy couple's boat promptly sinks.
Ooh.
What he said in his proposal is that in our relationship, just like the water, there's high tides and there's low tides, but we survived it all.
Boy, you got to hope that's not an omen. The shape of things to come. Rescuers pulling 19 people from New York's East River, including the couple who just got engaged. The bride-to-be says he proposed before we went down.
Well, at least they got the ring, on her finger safe before it happened.
That's right. The rowing club's dragon boat, these are traditionally used for traditional Chinese festivals, started taking on water and choppy waves and winds. The winds gusting up to 26 miles per hour. It sank before rescuers reached the scene. Thankfully, nobody hurt. Everybody on the boat wearing life jackets.
Well, you know what? People at the Emmys looked like they had gone underwater because it was so hot and they were just sweating right through their clothes.
Let's just call it. Let's just say it. We're both really hot.
It is
A little bit.
unbreakable. We're alive, damn it. Not really on this red carpet because it's so hot. Unbreakable.
It is hot, but you're strapless, so don't complain.
I mean, all the stars looked hot because they were actually hot.
Right.
Temperatures got close to 100 degrees on the red carpet ahead of last night's Emmy Awards ceremony.
Now they had water, bottles of water on hand, and that's rough there. And the pants, I feel bad for the guys.
And the long sleeves.
And the long sleeves.
But guys are wearing tuxes that are mostly black or dark colors.
Terrible. Record high temperatures were hit in nearby Long Beach and the Bob Hope Airport. 104 degrees.
I want to tell you.
That is nasty. All right, let's have a look at what we're going to deal with here into the Midwest. We'll feel the warmth. We won't feel the, temperatures into the 100-degree range, but we will still have that sunshine, and our temperature is getting up into the 70s, even the 80s for some locations here. And it's going to feel like in the 80s because, remember, this temperature is actually taken in the shade. So if you put the thermometer in the direct sunlight, then it can easily be 10 degrees hotter. Detroit, 73 for you. That's actually quite a nice forecast. Let's take you into Texas here. Maybe a few clouds and showers to cool you off here, but otherwise, it's going to be hot and still very sticky here. Al, still time to go to the beach, perhaps Galveston.
Absolutely. Well, farming can be one of the toughest jobs in the country, even more of a challenge for those with disabilities. Thankfully, farmers, a little help. We're going to tell you all about a great new program after your local on the 8s.
When is your flu shot more than a flu shot? When it helps give a life-saving vaccine to a child in need in a developing country. Thanks to customers like you, Walgreens Get a Shot, Give a Shot program has helped provide 7 million vaccines. Make your flu shot make a world of difference. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
I've been a poor man and I've been a king. I've had my life and the world on a string. I've traveled many roads, but I'm so far from done. Good to know there's so much to live for. What a day to feel alive.
You tuck here, you tuck there. If you're a toe tucker because of toenail fungus, ask your doctor now about prescription keratin. Use daily. Keratin drops may kill the fungus at the site of infection and get to the root of your toe tucking. Keratin may cause irritation at the treated site. Most common side effects include skin peeling, ingrown toenail, redness, itching, and swelling. Tell your doctor if you have any side effect that bothers you or does not go away. Stop toe tucking and get the drop on toenail fungus. Ask your doctor today about keratin.
I asked my dentist if an electric toothbrush was going to clean better than a manual. He said sure, but don't get just anyone. Get one inspired by dentists with a round brush head.
Go pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's rounded brush head cups your teeth to break up plaque and rotates to sweep it away. And Oral-B delivers a clinically proven superior clean versus Sonicare Diamond Clean.
My mouth feels super clean.
Oral-B. Know you're getting a superior clean.
I'm never going back to a manual brush.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. Get a designer look for less. Right now, hand-scraped Saratoga hickory laminate is just 99 cents per square foot at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Every morning, Rudy gets these new Milk-Bone Good Morning Daily Vitamin Treats. They've got nutrients that aren't in most dog foods, and I get stuck with these. Hey, why don't I get a treat? Oh, that's right. I get pancakes. Say it with Milk-Bone.
Not since Gravity has a movie so demanded to be experienced in IMAX 3D.
The storm of the century is headed your way.
You go, I'm not leaving you behind. We're all getting down together. Everest, rated PG-13.
Very intense right now.
Oh my God.
That's blacked out. This is so cool.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It is 40 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. Good morning, Dallas. Your temperature's hovering right around 70 degrees. You're going to get up to about 95 today.
Yeah, and lots of sun. And speaking of the sun, every single day, plants convert sunlight into energy equivalent to 6 times the entire power consumption of human civilization.
Wow, they're busy.
They are very busy here, and you might be busy as you're trying to get out the door and deal with all this heat. 84% of the highs since August 1st have been above normal in Dallas.
That's right. They had 15 days of 100-degree highs, but that's a little below the average of 18 per year. Of course,
I was thinking about that. I was like, we haven't had a lot of 100-degree days. It didn't feel like in Dallas. It wasn't terrible this summer.
They had a little stretch, but that was not all that horrible. Right now, you can see temperatures mid-60s into the mid-70s as you get down to Houston, San Antonio, and New Orleans.
All right, so here's a look at the day today. Above average, anywhere from, say, 5 to 10 degrees for the most part. As we head into tomorrow, it still stays hot. We have this big ridge in place and nothing to take care of it as we head over the next couple of days.
So look at you, Dallas. Your average high, 86. You are well above that right through Wednesday. Well, in today's Farmers Forecast, we owe such a debt of gratitude to our nation's farmers. You have to fight weather, bugs, pests, irrigation woes.
That's what we do, and it can be even more challenging for those with disabilities. But now, some of these farmers are getting a helping hand from some remarkable working dogs. Here's NBC's Kristen Dahlgren.
It's sunrise over the pastures of Maysville, Missouri. But to Alda Owen, it looks more like this. She's legally blind, which can make being a farmer pretty tough.
Say there's a dip in the pasture where it's just dirt. Well, sometimes I think that's a cow laying down, and it's not.
Owen lost her eyesight when she was just 10.
I was a girl that stood in the closet. I hid my disability.
In her 50s, she got breast cancer and worried she wouldn't be able to help her husband at all around the farm.
He's always been my caregiver, and I wanted to be a partner. I didn't want to be a disabled handicap.
That's when Owen met her new best friend, a border collie named Sweet Baby Joe, given to her by Farm Dog USA, an organization that matches disabled farmers with dogs.
Now we call the dogs four-legged farm hands.
Jackie Allenbrand started Farm Dog when she realized just how much dogs could help.
Retrieving buckets, retrieving tools, helping with mobility.
So far, Farm Dogs has helped a dozen farmers in Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas, and Iowa, including a paraplegic and another with a traumatic brain injury. On the Owens farm, Joe herds the cattle, giving Alda's husband, Rick, peace of mind.
It protects her, and I worry about her safety. I worry a lot less now than I did.
Good girl.
For Alda, Joe means even more.
She's just made me open up and say, you'll be all right. You can do anything you want to do. Don't let your disability hold you back.
A farmer, able to continue doing what she loves and finding a new love in the process. Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News, Maysville, Missouri.
Hug.
What a great program. Currently, Farm Dogs services 4 Midwestern states. They're hoping to expand to more when the budget allows. You can help them reach their fundraising goal by heading over to GoFundMe.com/Farm Farm Dog, PHARM Dog USA. All right, let's head over to Steph. Next 7 days, any relief in sight for the farmers out there?
It doesn't look like it, Alan. We have 30 seconds flat to get through the next 7 days, and basically it's going to be hot across the entire country, and we're going to see a few blips of rain here and there, but overall it stays mainly dry. This stuff is all on the light side. I mean, look at Billings. Look at what we're dealing with here. 84, Denver 81, the same as we're dealing with in Miami. As we get to our Friday, even hotter into the 90s. Saturday and Sunday, again, more of the same across the board. We're back after your local needs, Talking Tropics.
Farmers Forecast, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram.
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion? The Ram ProMaster van. And introducing the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you run the town. Ram.
Sit. More sit per roll. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent. So 1 roll of Bounty can last longer than those bargain brands. So you get more life per roll. Bounty, the long-lasting, quicker picker-upper.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
Heartburn comes creeping up on you. Fight back with relief so smooth and fast. Tums Smoothies starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
I'm going down to the land of wonder. Apple trees to sit under.
Yoplait Plenty with oats, flax, and pumpkin seeds. Greek yogurt packed full of goodness.
Happy birthday! Make a wish!
Very kind.
Okay, who wants cake?
She does. Janet, eat the cake.
Get your flu shot at Rite Aid today, because your coworkers didn't. And with every flu shot, you'll get a free cold and flu protection plan to help you all season long.
This kind of weather, all bets are off.
Before Mars, before space stations, before shuttles, before one small step, before rocket rides, before flat tops, freeze-dried, and flight suits. Back when what went up still had to come down, we challenged ourselves to change everything. A first-person view of space awaits at the spot where our journey to the heavens began, Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Always exploring.
It's Ford SUV season. Now just sign and go with 0 down, 0 due at signing, and 0 first month's payment, hassle-free. Choose from Ford Escape, Edge, Explorer, and Expedition, every SUV. Ford makes it easier for you to be unstoppable during SUV season. Now get a Ford Escape with 0 down, 0 due at signing, and 0 first month's payment during Ford's SUV Sign and Go event, only at your local Ford dealer.
1999. We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds, low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
$50 minutes past the hour, just about. Now, okay, so you're looking up to the sky. It's Costa Rica. And you look up, what do you think?
Well, you see the iridescent look there, and it's kind of a funky shape, right? It kind of looks like a jellyfish. Well, the lady shot this video, said it was, quote, absolutely breathtaking. She says people stopped in their tracks to take in the view.
I'm telling you, that looks like something you see just before the alien spaceship drops down.
It's a pilus cloud, the Latin word for cap, and that's because they usually form on the top of cumulus clouds when moisture from the cumulus is pushed up. Not all have that iridescent look. That's kind of a rare phenomenon to see the iridescent color there in the clouds like that.
Yeah, same phenomenon, basically, that creates a rainbow. So it's kind of, you kind of sometimes have that iridescence.
Really?
Yes.
Well, thank you.
You glow and you have so many different colors. Anyway, let's go down to a man of many different talents, but the one we are concerned with right now is sussing out what's going on in the tropics. Michael Lowry.
Hey, Al, good morning. That is an amazing shot. I was looking at some online blogs about that and saying, it's not really a big thing. I tell you what, if I saw that, I'd be pretty amazed. What's as amazing as how much moisture is being pulled up into the southwest from a tropical system. Once again, not your average monsoon out there. We'll talk about the impacts from this in a second. This is courtesy of Tropical Depression 16 out here to the south of California. We have this big upper level low. Let's try to draw this out for you so you can see what's going on at the upper part of the atmosphere. Over here to the west and to the east, we have a high pressure ridge. And right in between, we're funneling all of that deep, abundant tropical moisture from this Tropical Depression 16. Only 35 mile per hour winds. So this isn't really a significant tropical system. It's really what's coming with it, which is the moisture. That's going to be the big story. Moving very quickly off to the north-northeast at 17 miles per hour. Here's the forecast going. Basically, it's moving inland, so we expect it to weaken and to dissipate as an organized tropical system. Actually, some pretty good wind gusts down here in the Baja Peninsula and the northern Sinaloa in the state of, in the country of Mexico, the northernmost state there. But really, it's the rainfall. Take a look at here is one of our computer models, the rendition of what the rainfall is going to look like going into parts of southern, really southeastern Arizona is the greatest impact area. Not to say that we can't see the potential for some localized heavy rain here into even parts of southern California, but look at this rich tropical moisture moving into the mountains, especially around Tucson area today into tonight, heaviest rainfall threat. So that we have to watch for the potential there, the flash flooding of the normally dry creeks and arroyos out there. Elsewhere in the tropics, we have a few systems here in the Central Pacific, none of really any consequence. And then Tropical Storm Ida, which we'll talk about in just really quickly here. 50 mile per hour winds. It's strengthened a little bit, Al and Steph, but it's moving out to sea. No worries here for us in the U.S. Back to you.
Michael, thank you so much. Well, we're going to be coming right back with a meteorologist and his unusual passion.
Wait until you see what he's trained these geese to do. That's coming up after your local on the 8th.
It's like a real-life flyaway home. How cool!
Americans drink 48 billion bottles of water every year. That's enough plastic bottles to stretch around the Earth 230 times. Each Brita filter can replace 300 of those. Clean, clear Brita water. Nothing is better.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
It's more than a network and the cloud. It's reliable uptime and multi-layered security. It's how you stay connected to each other and to your customers. With CenturyLink, you get advanced technology solutions, including an industry-leading broadband network and cloud and hosting services, all with dedicated, responsive support. With CenturyLink as your trusted technology partner, you're free to focus on growing your business. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
Very intense right now.
Oh my God. That's blacked out.
This is so cool.
55 past hour. Good morning, Raleigh. You're waking up temperatures in the upper 60s. Your school bus forecast heading home, cloudy and 76 degrees.
Okay, so give your kids a little tidbit of knowledge to bring into class today. And on this day in history, General Benedict Arnold committed treason in 1780, meeting with a British major to discuss heading over West Point in exchange for a large sum of money.
Of course, the plan eventually foiled. Arnold, a former American hero, becomes synonymous with the word traitor. Well, let's head down to Washington, D.C. and show you your morning forecast. Clouds and 64.
Are eggs Benedict named after Benedict Arnold?
I don't think so.
Did the eggs, were they a traitor of some sort to the other eggs, like the scrambled egg?
Jackson, Mississippi, you've got some showers and 69 out the door, but heading home, 86 degrees for the kids on the bus.
What are eggs Benedict, by the way? I don't eat eggs.
And we're looking at 7 a.m. sunshine.
How are they made?
Cleveland, 51. 70 on the way home with sunshine for the school bus. Heading home.
Well, it's not Tarzan. It's competitors in the North American tree climbing competition. But we'd love to hear a little.
Where's Carol Burnett when you need her?
Yeah.
42 professional arborists from Canada and the U.S. went limb to limb in Thompson Park in Longmont, Colorado. The competitors swinging between 7 ash trees, performing stunts 70 to 90 feet above the ground.
One of the climbers admit he is more graceful in a tree than on the ground. A Texan won the contest. He moves to the international competition.
That's pretty cool.
Really cool.
Talk about going out on a limb.
Yeah, right. Wow. And a French meteorologist shows off his other skill. He trains geese to fly in tandem with his ultralight aircraft.
This performance took place during the opening ceremony of China's International Air Sports Fiesta. The geese and the meteorologist stayed in sync for about 4 minutes. Says it took years to train the geese for this aerial stunt.
How do you even start training geese for something like that?
If you rent the movie Fly Away Home, Anna Paquin and Jeff Bridges.
You'll learn how to train geese?
Yes.
All right.
Well, Jeff Daniels.
Maybe you're going to do a little geese training here into the Northeast?
Jeff Bridges. I meant Jeff Daniels.
Both good Jeffs. All right. So maybe you're going to do a little geese training or dog training. You have beautiful weather for that outside today.
That's right. It's looking pretty darn good. I mean, temperatures getting into the mid-60s to the low 70s. Well, we're usually starting to feel like fall right now, but not so fast.
No, fall's Wednesday, but we're still tracking temperatures 5 to 15 degrees above average. More in the Power Hour.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds, low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
In 2 days, the calendar says it's fall. Guess what? not so fast. Temperatures doing anything but cooling off. We'll tell you where the temperatures are between 5 to 15 degrees above average and how long they plan on sticking around.
Scattered storms across the southeast kick off the work week, but with over 60% of the region in dry to severe drought conditions, will enough fall to help? It's all right here, right now in the Power Hour of Wake Up with Al.
I'm too hot to talk.
Plus, stars sweltering on the red carpet. We're not talking about fashion, how the celebrities cope with the triple-digit heat on TV's big night. Wake Up with Al starts right now. Good morning, everybody. Monday, September 21st, 2015. Did you watch any of the Emmys last night?
No, I did not, but I did see the picture that Crystal Egger had retweeted of Mario Lopez. His entire back, it was a wet T-shirt contest. It looked like someone had thrown water on him.
I really did.
But it was sweat.
That's right. We'll tell you all about that. But let's get you started with everything you need. Your top 3 coming right up. And we start off with this fall warmth. Look at these temperatures climbing up into the 80s from Washington, D.C. to New York City, back to Pittsburgh. Boston's the only folks who stay nice and cool into the northeast and New England. Now we've got a soggy start in the southeast as a stationary front pushes down, plus an upper level low, and the jet stream get involved. So we're going to be looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next several days. And it's going to be unseasonably warm in the plains and the Midwest. Jet streams up to the north. Highs will average anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees above average for Denver, Dallas, Oklahoma City, St. Louis, Wichita, and Kansas City, Steph.
And it's not only going to be there for the day. Let's talk about the heat into the northeast. That was a terrible transition. We're going to take you live to New York City, D.C.
Only terrible if you tell them it is.
It was. You sometimes just got to admit it, and you're like, sorry, that was really stinky. So here's a look. 60 degrees, mid-60s as we look down into Washington, D.C. Our highs are going to be in the 70s, but it's going to get much warmer as we head towards midweek. And on this day in 1985, George Clooney made his first appearance as a handyman on the popular TV sitcom The Facts of Life.
Wow.
The Facts of Life?
Yeah.
That's a good one. And of course, he has gone on to be just a mega superstar. Not just a superstar, a mega superstar. So let's talk about how warm it's been. This is through the 20th of this month. 2015, 77.2 degrees. Now, the record from 1881 for the entire month is 78.2. Remember, we still have 2 more weeks left, so this could go up or it could go down. New York, we are crushing our record from 1961. But again, remember, we still have 2 weeks left, and that can make a huge difference because if you get 1 whole week of really cold air, then this thing could plummet. But here's a look at right now as you head out the door. Cooler as you head a little bit farther inland, and of course, as you head up in elevation. And we do have that warmth right down New York to D.C., all thanks to this jet stream far to the north. So that means that the warm air can go as far north as the jet stream. And we have lots of sunshine. So that makes it feel even hotter than it says on the thermometer because the temperature, the official temperature is taken in the shade. 5 to 15 degrees above average. Today, it's actually a touch below average for a lot of the cities in the northeast. But that's it, because as we head into our Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to start a climbing here right up the ladder. Maybe you're going to the gym to do that. Jacob's ladder? Woo, that thing is brutal. That will give you a workout and a half. As we head into our Wednesday, look at Burlington, 12 degrees above average at 78. So New York City, what are our highs looking like? We will see them well above that average, especially as we get into our Wednesday. Roker, I feel like we need to reopen all the beaches and pools.
I'm telling you, it's because they're going to be anybody be wanting to use those. So last hour, Sam Champion shot some weather video for us. Now NBC correspondent Mark Potter gets into the act. This video from Mark, take a look. Wow. I mean, gusty winds and heavy rain coming through Miami yesterday. Pop-up showers hit Friday, Saturday. 2 inches of rain coming down last night. 200 strikes in 15 minutes, about 8 o'clock. Of course, Miami needs all the help it can get. Right now, they're about 10 inches below what they need to end their severe drought. Wow, what a mess. Trying to take down all that stuff and all that rain. Well, you can see right now on the live radar, active radar, I should say, we've got showers and thunderstorms stretching from East Texas and on into central Alabama. And that shower activity and thunderstorm activity will eventually make its way into central Georgia. Got this moist air in place right now. Cape Hatteras, Charleston, Jacksonville. Then we got an upper level low and the jet stream. So look at these hit or miss showers and thunderstorms cropping up as the morning wears on. We put the maps into motion for you. You see those showers and thunderstorms now making their way as we get into the late morning, early afternoon into Georgia, south of Atlanta, on into the southeastern Atlantic coast. And not only that, we've also got a rip current risk because we've got this low pressure out the remnants of 96L, high pressure up over the northeast, and so we've got a moderate risk along the the Florida coast. Norfolk, Virginia, showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon hours, finally dries out a little bit later as we get into
Someone's
the
California
evening.
dreaming.
That's why there's nothing wrong with a little California.
No, there isn't. Time now for a look at your headlines. And I think that your brain was probably thinking California because we're about to talk to Emmys here, which were in LA last night.
So warm, and it has a lot of holes in it because it's mesh, and so in this weather it's working well. Right. I feel the breeze in all kinds of places.
Well, all right, Kerry Washington. Scorching temperatures near 100 degrees. Stars walking the red carpet at the Emmy Awards in downtown L.A. last night. Organizers who were handing out water bottles outside the Microsoft Theater.
Yeah, record high temperatures across the Southland, 99 in Long Beach, 104 in Woodland Hills. And, you know, these stars get such, like, above and beyond treatment. I'm surprised they didn't have, like, big air conditioners blowing on the red carpet.
Well, I got to tell you, wearing those dark tuxes and a lot of those gowns were in long sleeves, kind of rough. Pantsuits for the women, too. Well, our friends in rural Kansas are cleaning up after a tornado hit Friday night. Storm tracking northwest of Lewisburg just after 6 p.m., toppling trees, causing some minor damage to homes.
Now, if you look closely, you can see the tornado picking up and tossing around debris. As we zoom in a little bit, you got to get your eyes. Your eyes probably aren't, like, fully open at this moment. But if you get really close to the TV and try really hard, you'll see some of that debris. The National Weather Service rated it an EF1 with max winds around 100 miles an hour.
Well, Pope Francis has one more day in Cuba before he heads here to the United States.
He plans to speak to the U.S. Congress this week, who says they will boycott the address if the Pope continues to talk about climate change.
Wow, how about some respect there?
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
awfully nice.
Can't you just listen? I can't even get into it.
Let's do installation. Let's check out one of these to make this easier to tackle. Because the more we bundle up here, the less we need to here. Let's do this. Get AutoCAD installation for just $29.68. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
When your cold makes you wish you could stay in bed all day, you need the power of new TheraFlu Express Max. New TheraFlu Express Max. The power to feel better.
I asked my dentist if an electric toothbrush was going to clean better than a manual. He said sure, but don't get just any one. Get one inspired by dentists with a round brush head.
Go pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's rounded brush head cups your teeth to break up plaque and rotates to sweep it away. And Oral-B delivers a clinically proven superior clean versus Sonicare Diamond Clean.
My mouth feels super clean.
Oral-B. Know you're getting a superior clean.
I'm never going back to a manual brush.
When did leaving work on time become an act of courage? It's time to take back our lives. Can an SUV be your escape vehicle? You have no idea. Introducing the all-new, totally redesigned Hyundai Tucson, the official pace car of living.
These wings are pretty great, huh?
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, it's a wing ring.
What's a wing ring?
I ask it what kind of wings I should have, and it tells me. Today it said honey barbecue.
I want to ask it a question.
Oh, you know what? I got like 2% battery on this thing.
Come on, let me just...
Yeah, I wish I could.
You have battery in a ring?
Yeah, it's like 8 gigs.
That's two different things. One is memory and one's battery life.
Cool. All I know is like, no, you can't use it.
Good luck choosing 100% all-white meat boneless chicken wings in 6 delicious flavors. Or buy one, get one free every Monday night. This is how you Sonic.
Did you know that meeting your daily protein needs actually helps to support your muscle health? Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink can help you get the protein you need. Each serving has 15 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, plus 26 vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D, to support strong bones. Boost High Protein is the #1 selling high-protein complete nutritional drink, and it has a great taste, guaranteed. Help get the nutrition you need every day with Boost High Protein. Available at these fine retailers.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
This kind of weather, all bets are off.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm Mike Bettis. That's Sarah. Welcome to the set of a brand new show, Weather Underground. There'll be experts, bloggers, the smartest weather minds in the business on every screen you have 24 hours a day. Geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
10 minutes past the hour. Good morning, St. Louis. A beautiful start to your day and your work week. Temperatures into the low 50s, the mid 50s this morning. Get up to a high about 80 degrees today.
Yes, if you're having a cup of coffee for a little extra energy this morning, think about this. The world consumes close to 2.25 billion cups of coffee a day. The best coffee comes from feces of some animal. What is that in the, like a little panda.
Like it's like a cat kind of thing.
Right in the jungle that it poops out and people drink the...
A lot of people just did a spit take of their coffee.
Yeah. It's true though, and I'm dead serious about this.
I don't know that it's the best. I think people claim it is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm not trying it, that's for sure. Temperatures mid-50s all throughout the Midwest today right now. And if you look at this, 72 in Chicago for a high, 78 in Minneapolis.
Speaking of coffee, a little fun fact about Al Roker and myself, neither of us drink coffee.
That's right. I don't know how much fun that is, but there's something to share with your friends. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Des Moines 84, 86 in St. Louis. Chicago still above average, high of 79.
All right, in St. Louis, 78 is our average high. We will be above that for the entire work week.
All right, this is the final full day in Cuba for Pope Francis. He arrives in Washington, D.C. tomorrow to kick off his U.S. visit. Francis plans to meet with President Obama and become the first pope to address a joint session of Congress on Wednesday.
Now, reports say at least one House Republican will skip the Pope's speech. Arizona Representative Paul Gosar calls the Pope's view on climate change leftist.
Okie dokie. Two doctoral students at the University of Washington have come up with a wearable device that tracks your carbon footprint.
Okay, it's called Magnificence.
Yep.
Okay. It tells you who's using electricity, anything from hair dryers to shavers to the oven or the stereo.
Magnificence also tattles on people who leave the lights on and waste energy.
I like that.
The students recently filed for a patent. They want to convince manufacturers to include the technology in future smartphones and smartwatches.
That's why, like in Europe, when you have your key card, you have to put the light on, and when you leave to take your key card, the light turns off. Just don't waste energy.
Very smart. Very smart. Climate Week New York City starts today. Hundreds of diverse events and activities to address climate change through business and government.
Yes, we also have technology, art, music, and more for some participants, though activism starts at home, as Regan Medji explains.
Me with dark hair.
Her resume as an activist hangs on the walls inside her Queens apartment.
The March for Nuclear Disarmament, where we had, I honestly believe, 1 million people.
Leslie Kagan can tack up another environmental achievement after this week. She spent months motivating people to be part of Climate Week New York City.
I was at a climate demonstration in Washington, and somebody had made a handmade sign, and it was the best sign. It had a picture of the Earth on it. It said, "Planet Earth, there is no plan B." People get it. It's called a climate crisis for a reason. There is a real crisis, and it needs attention.
Kagan is an organizer with People's Climate Movement, one of close to 100 organizations participating in the 7th annual Climate Action event.
We see our Earth changing, and it's a little scary, right? I have a 12-year-old son, and I want him to have a future that's as prosperous and healthy as I've been able to live, and unfortunately, it's in peril.
The week will focus on finding innovative solutions to fight climate change. It culminates on Friday when the Pope addresses the United Nations General Assembly on climate change action.
I hope that the people involved come to some concrete decisions, and I hope that they don't push it off until the next meeting. I hope this isn't just for publicity.
Kagan Reagan is listening and believes the People's Climate Movement she organizes has some answers, hoping global leaders will pay attention.
There are solutions. Literally millions of people all over the world who are saying our lives depend on this.
In New York, Reagan Medji, The Weather Channel.
There are events taking place all over New York City this week during Climate Week NYC. Organizers hoping the Pontiff and the UN hear their climate change message and want to take action. So what's the weather looking like in New York and other spots next 7 days for this week?
It's going to be hot here. So let's have a look. And, you know, everyone kind of jumps on the heat aspect of climate change. But in reality, what scientists say, what most scientists, I don't know the percentage off the top of my head, but the science world, it just means that we're going to have more extremes. Not only the heat, but also the cold coming up. But it's going to be a heat story this week here as we start to make that change over to fall. Fall officially starts on Wednesday, Thursday, our first full day of fall. It's going to be hot into places like Montana. Look what happens as we head on into our Friday. 91 hotter here than it is Miami, Dallas. We're going to be in the 90s as well. We cool off for the second half of the week.
Get ready, some mixed martial arts fighting, talking about weather.
If the Dodge brothers walked into a dealership today, they'd be pretty impressed with what's become of their Maverick car company. With all the power, performance, and ingenuity. But knowing them, they'd insist on serving the donuts. Get yours before they're history.
Sir, can you step aside?
Sir? Come on, you know who I am. Progressive Insurance. I save people an average of over $500 when they switch.
Did you pack your own bags?
Oh, right, the Name Your Price tool. It shows people policy options to help fit their budget. Crazy that a big shot like me would pack his own bags, right? So, do I have the right to remain handsome? Wait. Uh-oh.
AT&T and DirecTV are now one, which means you can watch movies while you're on the move, sitcoms while you sit on those, and even Fargo in Fargo. Binge while you lose weight, and enjoy a good cliffhanger while you hang from a why am I yelling. The revolution will not only be televised, the revolution will be mobilized. Introducing the all-in-one plan, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
If you suffer from a dry mouth, then you'll know how uncomfortable it can be. But did you know that the lack of saliva can also lead to tooth decay and bad breath? Well, there is Biotene, specially formulated with moisturizers and lubricants. Biotene can provide soothing relief, and it helps keep your mouth healthy, too. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
You know me as Nota Begay III, golf analyst for NBC Sports and Golf Channels and founder of the MB3 Foundation. But my favorite title is Champion for Kids' Health. I'm living my dream, and I want to make that possible for all children. We must give kids what they need to become teachers, artists, doctors, even golfers. But dreams can get lost if our kids aren't healthy. And right now in our country, 1 in 3 kids are obese. We must do better. Join me. Help all kids live healthy now so they can build healthy futures.
99 weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here. Let's talk about that. Let's lift the base of this. You're about to see something you have never seen on television before.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Twenty minutes past the hour. How about a check of the tropics?
Let's go to our hurricane specialist, Michael Lowry. Michael, we do have this kind of low retrograding off the southeast coast, but we don't have to worry about it becoming anything tropical.
No, Stephanie, I don't think so. This is actually kind of what's left behind from the system that we were watching last week. That low pressure system now scooting off to sea and looking at what's left behind it in its wake. Here's the low pressure that is now moving to the northeast along frontal boundary. That was once 96L that we talked about last week. Well, I was expecting that, but it never really consolidated. It never tightened up. So what ended up happening is you had this really big, broad area of low pressure, and it's almost like conjoined twins here. You have two areas of low pressure that are kind of somewhat attached right now. This one moving to the northeast, but this one's going to stay behind and sort of linger here off the southeast coast. And sometimes when that happens, you can get tropical development, especially this time of year when the waters are warm enough. I'm not expecting that with this one, and I'll show you why here. Here's the forecast. There's a big blocking ridge of high pressure up here to the north. That's going to not allow this to move to the north, but instead there is an area of low pressure to its west that's going to sort of slingshot it back toward the coast. When you look up at the upper part of the atmosphere, though, the wind shear. There is too much wind shear to see any sort of tropical development here, but it's going to bring some wet weather here to the Carolinas come middle to latter part of the week. Alan, Steph, back to you.
All right, Michael, thanks so much. Well, our next guest just won his 7th UFC championship title, has been dubbed the best pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC.
Yes, that's right. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson is tiny but mighty, and he's here in studio, and we're scared. That's all we have to say. We're going to keep this table in between us right now. You fought all over the world, anywhere from Australia, the Philippines. You train and live in Tacoma, Washington. How does weather affect you?
The weather affects us a lot in Seattle, Washington, and one of the biggest things is that it's always raining there. That's what we're known for, the rainy city. But we typically do our training inside. When we do have a nice weather, I guess you could say, we're blessed with sunshine out there. We typically get our training outside where, you know, the rain really takes over the green grass and grows some luscious green trees for us.
Okay, so how do you get the nickname Mighty Mouse?
In the gym I train, I'm the smallest guy, and I spar with the heavyweights. You know, we have professional fighters come in here like Rich Franklin, and I'll spar with him, and I just, you know, spar with those guys like I'm their same size, and my ears, my structure, and Mighty Mouse was the name that I got named.
You know, we had Ronda Rousey in here a while back, and she did her famous arm move, you know, that she does not. So we were hoping that you could show us a few minutes.
Sure, let's kind of move this out of the way if we can.
I mean, you can just demonstrate on one Al. You don't have to, like,
you know, I'm gonna take care of Al. I'm not gonna hurt you. So,
all right, okay.
Okay, he's unbuttoned everything too. So in mixed martial arts, one of the things mixed martial arts is known for is that it's different aspects of martial arts, whether it's karate, Muay Thai, wrestling, and I'm known for being able to transition between every single aspect. So one of the things I like to do is I'm sitting here and I move and I go here, then I'll shoot down for wrestling. And see, right now he's starting to defend that. But when I'm ready to do that, I come here, then I can do my elbow and hit him. And that's one of the things I hit John Dodson with in my last fight, was I'm able to transition between wrestling, and when I'm ready and I see he's defending that, I just come up here and I just go elbow.
So the trick is to know when to switch to which
aspect of mixed martial arts. That, to me, that's not the trick, but that's the goal, to really keep your opponent always guessing, and that's what I'm known for.
What's coming up?
I want to get the bling on.
Well, what's coming up next is I gotta fight her because she's got my strap on.
Wow.
Wow, Steph's wearing a strap on. That's great.
That's what they call
You took it there.
What's next?
What's next for me? I'm just relaxing, letting the body heal. That's a big thing in mixed martial arts. And we're hoping for February 5th in Las Vegas, MGM, home of champions. That's where I want to fight.
That's fantastic. Demetrius, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, some of the biggest stars in show business had to sweat it out on the red carpet.
Temperatures reaching near triple digits at the Emmys coming up next. Wearing those tuxedos and long sleeve dresses, how celebrities got creative to stay cool.
sleep. Remember when it welcomed you like a friend? Then it became more elusive. But why? When you have insomnia, it may affect the wake neurotransmitters in your brain, disrupting your wake and sleep messages. Balsamra is a prescription medicine for adults who have trouble falling or staying asleep. Balsamra is thought to help turn down wake messages by targeting and inhibiting the action of orexin, a neurotransmitter that plays a central role in sending wake messages. Only Balsamra works this way.
Do not take Balsamra if you have narcolepsy. When taking Balsamra, don't drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully awake. Walking, eating, driving, or engaging in other activities while asleep without remembering it the next day have been reported. Balsamra should not be taken together with alcohol. Abnormal behaviors may include aggressiveness, confusion, agitation, or hallucinations. The temporary inability to move while falling asleep or waking up and temporary leg weakness have also been reported. In depressed patients, worsening depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. Alcohol may increase these risks. Side effects include next-day drowsiness.
Sleep. Ask your doctor about Balsamra.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first. Thank you. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Every step, every stride, every start. Begin strong with the lasting energy of 100% whole grain Quaker oats. And off you go.
How about over there?
What does it mean to have an unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz? What does it mean to drive as far as you want for up to 3 years and be covered? It means your odometer is there to record the memories. During the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event, now through September 30th, you'll get complimentary prepaid maintenance and receive your first 2 months' payments on us, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Available now on the Weather Channel on demand. For millions of years, weather has shaped our world. But weather also created...
What is that?
Something else.
This weather adds to an incredible biodiversity. Do not move.
Find new episodes of Natural Born Monsters in your on-demand menu before they air Mondays at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Intense right now.
Oh my gosh. That's blacked out.
This is so cool.
29 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up With Al.
We have a look at your top 3 weather stories as you're trying to get up and get out the door, get the kids to school, get to work, the whole 9 yards.
Let's do it. Top 3. We start off with fall warmth. I mean, this is crazy. Wednesday's the first day of fall. And look at these temperatures. It'll be 82 in D.C., 81 Philly, 80 in Pittsburgh, and New York City will see a high of 81 degrees. Our friends down in the southeast looking a little bit of a wet day to start things off for your work week. Got this system pushing through. That's going to bring scattered showers and thunderstorms right into the early evening hours. And for our friends in the Midwest and the plains, we are talking some unseasonably warm weather. Highs will be 5 to 15 degrees above average this week from Denver, Kansas City, Wichita, on down into Dallas, Steph.
All right, so we're going to talk about the warmth in the Northeast first. D.C., Philly, and Boston, you're waking up to temperatures in the 50s to the low 60s. Really highs nice today. It really is actually quite a nice morning. Though I feel like when it's, I've been like, never mind. Let me just get to the forecast. On this day in history, pioneer science fiction writer H.G. Wells was born 1866 in Bromley, England. He published his classic, The Time Machine, in 1895 when he was just 29 years old. Look at the sunlight right there that is over Philadelphia reflecting off the buildings. Beautiful. Really beautiful. It's interesting, like Boston and Philly, you can see the sun is up. In D.C., it isn't yet, right? Those more northern latitudes and the angle and all that sort of stuff. Anyhow, let's talk about the warmest September on record potentially. And right now, this is just to date through the 20th. So right now, if the month stopped today, we would have the warmest September on record: Portland, Boston, New York, and Philadelphia. But we still have a couple weeks left, so things could change. So just keep that in mind. But we are trending. And by the way, we're well above average in a lot of these places. Now, it is going to get hot. Today is a little bit below average. Tomorrow's about average. And then Wednesday, it's hot again. But we do have some frost advisories from Maine to New Hampshire, Saranac. You know how you tell the difference between Vermont and New Hampshire? Vermont looks like a V, and New Hampshire looks more like an N. Their coastline's like, I don't know, it's like 12 miles or something along those lines. I can't remember right off the top of my head. I'd have to look that one back up. Anyhow, here's a look at our temperatures. Higher in elevation, a little more inland where you aren't impacted by the water and also urban heat island. Your temperatures are a little bit cooler, but New York down to D.C. in the 60s. Ridge is in place, so that means we have the warmth all the way to the border there of Canada. Warm flow, lots of sunshine. We have compressional heating going on, so temperature is 5 to 10 degrees above average. Anywhere you see the yellow shading on the map here, and that is going to continue not only through the day today, but all the way through the week. We're going to show you through Wednesday, but even Thursday, it's going to be on the hot side. So there we go. Red arrows back into the picture tomorrow. And on Wednesday, they're going to be even bigger red arrows, though we don't indicate them like that on our map. That's how I saw them in my head. I saw these big red arrows growing. And because it's going to be hotter, Burlington 12 degrees above average. How about Philadelphia? Our temperatures will be on the rise as well. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Al before I get in any
You got
trouble.
a little theme park going on.
I do. It's very fun inside my head.
Well, let's say good morning to our friends in Charlotte. You got temperature heading right around 70 degrees right now. Going to get up to about 78. Could be some isolated thunderstorms. Charlotte actually took first steps into the racing world all the way back in 1924. Charlotte Speedway hosting a check on the tropics, 250-mile race on a wooden track. That drew about 50,000 spectators. That is pretty cool.
That's a lot, too, for back then.
Yeah,
50,000 people.
That's a huge crowd. Even today, that's a huge crowd. Well, since actual rainfall since January 1st, 23.6 of an inch. Your average rainfall should be a little bit more than 30 inches. So it's a little on the dry side out there. In fact, you look, North Carolina, you're in a lot of moderate drought, 40%. 3 months ago, you had no moderate drought, and now you're at 40%. So that's not great news. Get a little bit of help this couple of days ahead. We have this moist air in place, a little bit of a dip in the jet stream, and a disturbance moves in. So we're going to be looking at these scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up here and there, hit or miss showers. Again, it's not going to be a torrential downpour, anything of any great importance, but anything you can get will help. As we put the maps in motion, you'll see the scattered showers making their way from Mississippi into Alabama, Georgia. They work their way into South and North Carolina as the evening hours wear on. But again, it's not going to be all that horrible. Take a look right now. You've got cloudy skies through the afternoon, some showers later on in the evening, but for the most part, it should stay relatively dry.
Yeah, it will. Well, it's time now for our our headlines, our news headlines. MSNBC's Melissa Rayberger is joining us. Good morning.
Good morning to you both. Good morning to all of you. Pope Francis continues his historic tour through Cuba today, but everybody's talking about this meeting between the Pope and Cuba's former leader, Fidel Castro. The two met at Castro's home for about 40 minutes. On Tuesday, the Pope is scheduled to arrive in Washington, D.C. Next week, we could be headed for a potential government shutdown. That is the threat from some Republicans in Congress if they don't get their way on Planned Parenthood. On Friday, the House voted to block the organization's funds for 1 year. The Senate will hold a procedural vote tomorrow, but the bill may be doomed anyway. Democrats have enough votes to block it, and the president has promised a veto if needed. There were milestones and breakthroughs on television's biggest night, the Emmys. Viola Davis became the first African-American to win Best Actress in a Drama for her role in How to Get Away with Murder. John Hamm finally got his hands on the Best Actor award for Mad Men after losing 7 times before. But the biggest winner was Game of Thrones. It won 4 awards, including an Emmy for Outstanding Drama Series.
And you see them wearing those green ribbons, and that's for climate change.
Oh,
to bring awareness to that. Yeah.
Melissa, thank you so much. All right, time to see what's going on in the day ahead.
All right, so we want to take you here into the Midwest and show you that our temperatures are going to be actually on the warm side. We will have that sunshine. I swear they need to reopen all the beaches here. Maybe just get out that kiddie pool in the backyard and everyone pile in. Those always make for some really funny pictures when you have all the adults chilling out in the kiddie pool there. So our temperatures in Detroit, you're looking beautiful. 73, you really can't beat the weather. By the way, great football this weekend. Hotty toddy beating Alabama. I even called it. I mean, they have this thing. They go in and play Alabama. And then Stanford also taking down USC. The Dolphins game yesterday with Jacksonville was really good. So, poor Giants. Oh, be still.
Well, fall is almost here, and that means your pets are going to be back out in the cold. Coming up, we've got the best gear to keep them warm, comfortable, and safe with our pal, of course, the always fun Katie Linendahl.
Hey neighbor, LED bulbs can last for over 20 years and save hundreds of dollars on your energy bill. So stop by your neighborhood Ace now and get an LED dimmable indoor reflector bonus pack with 2 free bulbs.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
There's no oxygen.
Critics are raving about Everest.
Let's go! Get out there! I need help! Get up! I'm not leaving you behind.
Everest, rated PG-13.
When is your flu shot more than a flu shot? When it helps give a life-saving vaccine to a child in need in a developing country. Thanks to customers like you, Walgreens Get a Shot, Give a Shot program has helped provide 7 million vaccines. Make your flu shot make a world of difference. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
If you don't think Seize the Trip when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Get inspired with AARP Travel. Plan and book your trip online and get hot travel tips from the pros. Find more real possibilities at aarp.org/possibilities.
I asked my dentist if an electric toothbrush was going to clean better than a manual. He said sure, but don't get just anyone. Get one inspired by dentists with a round brush head.
Go pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's rounded brush head cups your teeth to break up plaque and rotates to sweep it away. And Oral-B delivers a clinically proven superior clean versus Sonicare Diamond Clean.
My mouth feels super clean.
Oral-B. Know you're getting a superior clean.
I'm never going back to a manual brush.
Right on cue.
It's more than just a meal. It's Meow Mix Mealtime. With great taste and 100% complete nutrition, it's the only one cats ask for by name.
Looking for a delicious dinner idea? Make tonight white chicken chili night. Start with Bush's white chili beans, simmered in our flavorful chili sauce. Then add rotisserie chicken. Punch it up with a little heat. and a few ingredients from your pantry. It's easy to make the perfect pot of chili every time. Make your chili better with Bush's white chili beans. For this and more great chili recipes, visit bushbeans.com.
This kind of weather, all bets are off.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Forty minutes past the hour. Football and fall, of course, go hand in hand, but felt more like baseball weather at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte yesterday.
Charlotte meteorologist Brad Panovich tweets it was the hottest home opener in the 20-year history of the Carolina Panthers. They did beat the Texans, though, who are used to the heat. Wow. 24-17. So no excuses for the Texans there.
And in fact, it's going to be unseasonably warm throughout the south and the southeast today. Look at these current temperatures. Mid-60s into the mid-70s.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to continue, so it's not like, that's right, talk to the hand. No one says that anymore. That we're over the whole talk to the hand thing, right? We're moved on to other things. So here's a look at the heat into the southern plains and the southeast. 80s, 90s. I mean, even Nashville, 84 degrees, which is 4 degrees above average. Let's take you to Houston, though. Wow, in the 90s, our average high is 88.
All right, you got to stop what you're doing. Come enjoy this. This is one way to face the rain. Rufio and Wilma in Chicago. Good dogs just sitting around for their photo op, dressed up in their raincoats and their goggles.
I like those goggles with the windshield wipers there. They ended up getting 2.41 inches that day, with a little more hitting over the weekend.
That is fantastic.
Really cute.
Well, walking your pets during winter can be tough, but now there are a bunch of gadgets to help keep our pets safe and comfortable.
Joining us this morning is our friend Katie Linendahl, and she has teamed up with MyRescue.dog. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, guys.
All right, so we're going to start off with the gear, and then we'll get to the toys.
Absolutely. So starting off with the gear, this one's one of my favorite gadgets. This is from Halo, and it makes LED collars for dogs of all sizes. They come in a number of different colors. They're water resistant, so you can take them out in all kinds of weather. But obviously, it's great for those early morning runs or those late night jogs to keep you safe. And they also make gear that humans can wear too.
Oh, that's cool.
So keep it lit up. It's just a touch of a button, and it's rechargeable via USB.
Matching collars with your dog.
That's pretty neat. I know you got an iPad out here.
iPad out there because I'm actually talking about MyRescue.dog. I know you have a rescue dog, Al, which I have a huge heart for. So I'm actually working with MyRescue.dog, and we're donating up to $100,000 to shelters of choice.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So what you do is you actually upload a photo and a little blurb about your pet, and right on the site, put a little bit on there. You can actually vote, and the one with the most votes at the end of this week will actually get $25,000 for the first place winner and $5,000 for 15 second place winners.
And you could buy maybe a Thunder Vest with something like that.
Oh my gosh, so have you heard of this, by the way?
Yeah.
This is actually really cool. My girlfriends swear by this. They all have little dogs. Thunder shirts are actually made for smaller pets and actually larger pets too that have anxiety. And they're really neat because there's no drugs involved here, and it's just kind of like giving them a little hug, a little bit of a squeeze. Comes in a number of different varieties, and also they make outdoor
They need to make these for people too.
They do, and it's good for thunderstorms, obviously, also in travel or separation anxiety. So great for a number of different reasons for pets.
Very cool.
I like this too, this raincoat.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It's really cute.
I like this. Now, what is the FitBark activity model?
Wearable technology, obviously huge these days. Now there's wearables for pets. And you might think that might be crazy, but actually you can track the activity and your sleep of your dog. If the dog's not doing well or you need to share the stats with a veterinarian, literally this tiny little collar, it's called FitBark. You put it right on the dog, and it's just that easy. I know, it's kind of crazy. We've got wearables for technology.
You know, it would be great if they added a GPS to that, because if your dog got lost,
well, a little bit of a pet finding situation there.
All right, now for the fun stuff.
Now for the fun stuff. So quickly, I'm going to hit this one just to show you where we're going. Tinder for dogs. I mean, enough said.
Are you serious?
It's called Tindog, and actually, the company boasts 300,000 matches and 1 million swipes right. I'm told that is a win. You think your dog's good
for playing or mating?
For real, it's like man's best friend.
Next thing you know, they're going to have Barkley Madison.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm just letting you know what's out there. Last but certainly not least.
This is just a cute dog on a. Okay.
Yeah, he's just a prop dog.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Now this is
iFetch. So this has 3 distances on it.
What am I supposed to fetch? Since you guys got the balls, I'm supposed to fetch.
The idea. Oh! You must have took somebody out, Al.
Those are legit.
Dog actually chases the ball, puts it right back in. You got yourself an awesome portable gadget. You can plug this into the wall. I've actually put in C batteries. So,
but it's no plug now because you can take it with you. Right? There's no ball in it.
There's no ball in there.
No, I feel like the people need to see though.
Watch this.
This would keep me. This would keep me occupied.
You're paying for that, not me.
All right. Thank you, Katie Linendoll. Thanks so much. All right, we're going to scan the tropics when we get back.
Yeah, a lot going on in the Atlantic and the Pacific. We've got the rundown with our expert, Michael Lowry, after local on the 8s.
I made a little something to commemorate our new hotel best price guarantee.
Impressive. But we pay 200% of the price difference.
Was I on that email?
Get a 200% best price guarantee. Only at Priceline.com.
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion? The Ram ProMaster van. And introducing the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you run the town. Ram.
So, you say men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Then how'd I get this?
Safe driving bonus check. Every 6 months without an accident, Allstate sends a check. Okay. Silence. Are you in good hands?
You know, it's always bugged me that we couldn't say that Cheerios are gluten-free. Oats don't contain gluten, but sometimes grains that do get mixed in. So we took them out, which means now Cheerios can be enjoyed by everyone.
Just original Cheerios?
Honey Nut Cheerios too, Buzz.
Happy birthday!
Make a wish!
Very kind.
Okay, who wants cake?
She does. Janet, eat the cake.
Get your flu shot at Rite Aid today, because your coworkers didn't. And with every flu shot, you'll get a free cold and flu protection plan to help you all season long.
Very intense right now.
Oh my God.
Let's black down. This is so cool.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
Since we've been advertising Star Law, we keep getting asked 2 questions. 1, yes, this really is our phone number and not a franchise or lawyer referral service. 2, yes, you can call Star Law for any legal needs. It's not just for the injured. To get the Tigton Law Group working for you, dial Star Law.
The Tigton Law Group. Whatever you need a lawyer for, you gotta dial Star Law.
We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about 50 past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. Tomorrow on our program, we're going to be tracking the papal visit to the U.S., what it could mean for the climate conversation on Capitol Hill, and ways to enjoy your outdoor space into the fall with Better Homes and Gardens. Right now, though, we want to head back down to Atlanta. Michael Lowry's keeping track of the tropics and a little depression off Baja. And we don't mean you're depressed, Michael. There's actually a depression there.
That's right, Al. There is a depression down here, and that's where we're going to start today because that is sort of the main impact story from the tropics here in the U.S. Take a look at what I'm talking about. Here's the water vapor picture just off the coast of California. There's a big dip in the jet stream over here, and see this flare-up of thunderstorms? That's Tropical Depression 16, and then to the east of that, there is an upper ridge of high pressure, so it's right there in the middle of those two arrows that you're seeing that all of the tropical air from down there in the Pacific Ocean funneling up into northern Mexico and then into southern California and southern Arizona. Tropical Depression 16E, not really much to write home about. 35-mile-per-hour winds moving pretty quickly off to the north-northeast at 17 miles per hour, and believe it or not, actually some pretty good wind reports here in terms of strong winds in northern Mexico near tropical storm force, even with this one moving inland. But the forecast is for this to weaken. It's moving in toward terrain, and that should tear this apart. But the low-level moisture even making it into parts of southern Arizona. So there is going to be that heavy rainfall threat today into tonight, even into early tomorrow. Take a look at one of our computer model renditions of what this rain's going to look like going through the day today. And there is a sizable amount of not just the low-level moisture, but mid-level moisture that's going to be peeling off into parts of even Southern California, where they could see some locally heavy rain. But I think the main impact area is going to be here into parts of southeastern Arizona, even into New Mexico as well, and the mountainous areas. We have to watch for that rainfall being wrung out over the mountains and then flowing down the mountains, and the flash flood threat are going to be there today. So that's really all that's happening here in the U.S. from the tropics. An area that we're watching off the southeast coast that we don't have circled here, that one we don't think is going to develop. There's just an area of low pressure sitting off the coast there, Steph, and then Tropical Storm Ida there in the central Atlantic turning out to sea. Back to you.
All right, thank you for that. Come to the TV and look at this time-lapse. The Aurora Borealis shot over Lake Superior. Videographers started shooting about 3:30 in the morning and didn't stop until daylight. That's when the magic happens. As the sunlight starts to hit the top, you can see the hues of the greens and perhaps some maybe blues and purples sneaking in there as well. An artist in Greenland is using his talent for a cause. Coming up, how these beautiful images are tackling climate change, the dramatic twist on the Greenland landscape. That's after about a 2-minute break. And we're going to leave you now with a live look at New York City, where temperatures will be about average today, but it's going to get hot again. The 80s return on the first day of fall Wednesday.
Now, let's talk about Lancaster. Classic caramel reimagined into buttery rich creams. So surprisingly soft, they melt in your mouth while you sit back and say, wow. Lancaster, caramel reimagined.
AT&T and DirecTV are now one, which means you can watch movies while you're on the move, sitcoms while you sit on those, and even Fargo in Fargo. Binge while you lose weight, and enjoy a good cliffhanger while you hang from a why am I yelling? The revolution will not only be televised, the revolution will be mobilized. Introducing the all-in-one plan, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. Get a designer look for less. Right now, hand-scraped Saratoga hickory laminate is just 99 cents per square foot. At the Home Depot, more saving, more doing.
that meeting your daily protein needs actually helps to support your muscle health? Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink can help you get the protein you need. Each serving has 15 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, plus 26 vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D, to support strong bones. Boost High Protein is the #1 selling high-protein complete nutritional drink, and it has a great taste, guaranteed. Help get the nutrition you need every day with Boost High Protein. Available at these fine retailers.
You tuck here, you tuck there. If you're a toe tucker because of toenail fungus, ask your doctor now about prescription Keratin. Use daily. Keratin drops may kill the fungus at the site of infection and get to the root of your toe tucking. Keratin may cause irritation at the treated site. Most common side effects include skin peeling, ingrown toenail, redness, itching, and swelling. Tell your doctor if you have any side effect that bothers you or does not go away. Stop toe tucking and get the drop on toenail fungus. Ask your doctor today about Keratin.
Heartburn comes creeping up on you. Fight back with relief so smooth and fast. Tums Smoothies starts dissolving the instant it touches your tongue and neutralizes stomach acid at the source. Smoothies, only from Tums.
This kind of weather, all bets are off.
Good morning, Washington, D.C. Waking up to cloudy skies, temperatures in the 60s. Really kind of pretty out there. You see those colors. Our highs today are going to top out around 70 degrees. And here's a little presidential fun fact. John F. Kennedy actually donated all of his salary as a congressman and later as president to charity. All right, let's have a look at our forecast here. For Boston, where, of course, you know, the Kennedys, loving them some Massachusetts. Into the 60s today, but it's going to get hot. So Boston, we're about average for the day today. Nashville, we're also going to get on the warm side as well. Today is really not too shabby of a day across the board, but it's more towards really Wednesday, Thursday when things are going to get even hotter. And into Pittsburgh, we will see 71 for you. Now, a native of Greenland is using his art to make a point about climate change. Mickey Jacobson says he has seen a lot of Greenland's ice melt since childhood. One of his paintings shows a snowmobiler on water instead of snow. Jacobson's art fuses traditional Greenlandic landscapes with contemporary styles, with climate change as the central theme. He says he wants his art to provoke questions about the warming Earth, not that he has an easy answer. And that's the thing. I feel like we do a lot of talking, a lot of complaining, but we need to be taking more action. I mean, I'm doing the best that I feel like I can. I'm sure I can always be doing more, but we need to all be doing little things here and there. Little things like if you're brushing your teeth and listening to us, turn the water off. Just don't let it run while you're just sitting there brushing. Turn it off in between when you spit and get your toothbrush wet and stuff. Turn the lights off if you leave any room, even if it's a hotel. Don't get your sheets changed, your towels changed in a hotel. I mean, how often do you do that at home? It's really unnecessary and it's a waste and you could save so much. So the little things make a difference. We will see the sunshine today. Open the windows. Use the natural heat and the natural air conditioning that we have out there. Into the southeast, I know you have to sometimes worry about the mosquitoes. Make sure your screens are in good working order. It doesn't take a lot to make a huge difference. Orlando, 75 and sunny for you. Into the Midwest, you're going to want to go to the beaches today or maybe the kiddie pool because it's going to be really gorgeous outside. Enjoy it while you can before winter sets in. Fall, by the way, officially starts on Wednesday. Al, let's wrap it up.
Steph, thank you, and thank you for waking up with us this Monday morning. AMHQ coming up next with Jen Delgado and Chris Warren. They're going to help you plan the rest of your day. We hope to see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Until then, have a great day, everybody.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, cloudy early with some sunshine this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good morning. It's Monday, September 21st. I'm Chris Warren in for Sam Champion today. Unsettled south from New Orleans east to Charleston, South Carolina, then down to south to Miami. Rain could make for a messy Monday, and that's after Florida's Atlantic coast got hammered with heavy rain and lightning over the weekend. You see some of the scenes right here. More than 200 strikes in just 15 minutes at times. Summer hanging around. Fall is just 2 days away, but the summer temperatures, they're not saying goodbye just yet. New York, 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal and getting even warmer through the week. And first signs of fall, the leaves are changing and the aurora showing its true colors. As the sunlight hits the top, there are incredible hues of purple. You can see the purple there and some green. We have those stories in just a moment. But first, hurricane specialist Michael Lowry is here with a look at what we are seeing in the Atlantic right now.
Yeah, Chris, the big picture on Friday, I should say, we were watching this area of low pressure off the southeast. It was Invest 96L at the time. It's over here right now, but it never did tighten up enough to become a tropical system. And what it's leaving behind in its wake is another area of low pressure. So this is scooting off to the northeast. We're going to have nothing to worry about with the first low pressure system, but it's this one down here that's going to sort of retrograde back toward the west, heading back toward the coast, and warm water sitting out there, Chris. We know that sometimes we can get tropical development. So coming up later in the show, I'm going to talk about the possibility here of this becoming a tropical system. At the very least, we're talking about a rainy mid to late week there in the Carolinas. Back to you.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. Right now, here is a live look at Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Temperatures a little on the cool side, relatively speaking. Temperatures right now in the lower 60s. But we're going to see some sunshine today. Highs back up into the 70s today, and then it's going to get even warmer. So the northeast, summer hanging around, even though we welcome fall here midweek. Temperatures are going to run into the lower 80s Thursday and again on Friday. We'll see some clouds around and some sunshine. Temperatures, you may have noticed, might feel a little cooler when you're heading out the door. Now, this is a look at the 24-hour temperature change. So the difference from this time yesterday, some areas, including Boston, 17 degrees cooler right now than it was yesterday. That's because we had a cold front move through. That cold front bringing in some cooler air, and you can see that the winds here, the little dots that are moving, the direction they're coming from. When they come from the north, we know it's colder to the north. That shows us that we have some cooler air. In some areas, Saranac Lake, 30 degrees right now. The actual temperature in some spots below the freezing mark. Here's a look at what we can expect today. Some areas a little bit cooler than average, some areas a little bit warmer than average. So even though it's going to feel cool this morning, it's kind of the way you get in these fall days where it's a little cool early on, the sunshine comes out, then you have a pleasant afternoon. It's going to warm up in the coming days. You can see right here, this is what's going on. The jet stream lifting up to the north, going to have that warm air. Some areas you can even call it hot. We're going to take a look right now throughout parts of the northeast. 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average for this time of year. And for tomorrow, mid 70s in New York. That's about 3 degrees warmer than average. D.C., a little bit time to catch up there before you get back warmer than average. 82 degrees in D.C. by Wednesday. Again, this is when we welcome in fall officially. New York 81, Buffalo going to be in the upper 70s. So for New York, you're going to be looking at these temperatures in the afternoon into the mid 70s today. And then, or tomorrow, I should say, and then Wednesday and Thursday back up into the lower 80s. And for Boston, similar story, but just not quite as warm. As far as we're seeing the sunshine, it's going to be looking pretty good there Wednesday and Thursday, and 70s for daytime highs. We have seen some storms throughout parts of the Midwest. Rural Kansas cleaning up after a tornado hit Friday night. The storm brought down trees, caused some minor damage to homes. And if you look closely right here, you can see some of that debris being kicked up by the tornado. No injuries reported with this storm. The National Weather Service rating it as an EF1 with winds estimated around 100 miles per hour. Areas including the Mississippi Valley getting hit with more rain today. Let's go to Jen with a look at where we're seeing that rain right now. Jen.
Hey there, Chris. You know, we are still tracking that same front that produced that tornado across parts of Kansas. Let's take you over to the radar and show you what's happening right now. We do have some rain. We're going to start off in parts of the mid-Atlantic. We're looking at areas really just to the west of Richmond. As we zoom in, what we're going to see, a lot of clouds and just really some nice little quiet stratiform rain. Notice we can see it for areas including 64 as well as well as into 81. DC watching you as well. You'll be looking at some of those showers, but again, nothing that is going to be significant. Today, though, wrap your mind around the clouds and the chance for some of that to just kind of continue off and on. Let's go down towards the south. A bit more activity there indicated by the light, and you can see across areas like Montgomery, just to the south of Birmingham. We zoom in a bit more. What we have is basically that same front just holding along parts of the Gulf. At the same time, upper level disturbance just kind of parked right on top of Arkansas. That's pulling it through. That's why we're seeing a little bit punchier storms across parts of Arkansas. And then we swing it over towards Louisiana, exiting out of Alexandria, but heads up for you, Macomb, right along Interstate 55, Natchez, as well as into Brookhaven. There's some of the lightning there. As we push that ahead and we talk more about the active radar, we'll continue to see those popping up. But look at Houston, got a little bit of rain coming through, but behind that front, you can see those winds coming in from the north. So really kind of hard to pick out with those winds coming in from the south. There's our ridge of high pressure. But the rain coming through Houston is actually going to help with the air quality. I know it's been kind of crummy there, but it's going to help if you have any type of breathing problems. Behind the front, you can see the drier air as well as the clouds just breaking up all the clouds. As we come back a little bit later on, we'll talk more about what's happening in the southeast as well as the Midwest. Over to you, Chris.
And Joe, we know it definitely felt like summer yesterday at Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. So the southeast, some areas definitely feeling the heat. It was the hottest home opener in the 20-year history of the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers did beat the Houston Texans 24-17, and it feels a little bit more like fall, just a little bit more like fall today. So again, Carolina beats the Texans. Let's take a look at what we can expect as far as it goes in Charlotte. This is a live look right now. Things not looking too bad. Looks like we might have a little bit of sunshine maybe hitting the top of the buildings here, maybe just a little bit. 72 degrees right now as that sun is still rising, and this is what we're going to be dealing with. We have this moist air in place, so relatively humid here is what we're looking at. Dip in the jet stream, and this is what we're expecting early on this week. We're going to have a little disturbance to move through, and we're going to have that chance for some showers, possibly a storm or two. And as we look right now, this is where we are seeing some of the rain. Temperatures into the 60s. Nashville in the lower 60s right now. Now, this is going forward through time. This is what the computer says the radar is going to look like. So there will be a chance for rain. Not talking about a washout at all here. We are talking about that chance for a few showers, possibly reaching the ground, scattered showers in the Carolinas as well. So here's a look at Charlotte. What we can expect going through the day today, staying dry until later on tonight. That's going to be your best chance, not a guarantee. That's your best chance for seeing a few showers. Charleston looks like a chance for some hit and miss storms by dinner time. Around 5 o'clock, we're going to see these highs into the mid 80s for you in Charleston. For Miami, mid to upper 80s today. And once again, it's kind of the deal. You have a chance for some showers and storms later on. But if you are planning to go to the beaches, heads up. We want to get you aware of the potential rip current risk. Let's go to hurricane specialist and storm surge expert Mike Larry.
Yeah, Chris, all courtesy of that low pressure that we were talking about just a minute ago. Take a look at where the rip current risk is going to be highest this week. Right there along the beaches of Virginia and the Outer Banks of North Carolina, up toward Ocean City, Maryland. It includes the Jersey Shore and even the South Shore of Long Island because of that strong onshore flow. What is a rip current? Well, a rip current's caused by waves. Without waves, you don't get rip currents, but you don't need 10-foot waves. 2 or 3 foot waves will do it. What you have is an onshore flow that creates water piling up basically on either side of the beach. Higher pressure is associated with the higher water levels, and right in between we have an area of low pressure, and just like air, water likes to go from high to low pressure, and so what happens is you get a current that sets up, and that current goes offshore, and the current can be really strong. I mean, 5-mile-per-hour current can take you offshore really quickly, so if you're caught in one of these things, the best advice is to swim toward the white water that'll take you back to the shore, or swim parallel to shore. Hopefully, though, we just avoid getting in the water this week at the beaches. We'll have more AMHQ right after the break.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, cloudy early with some sunshine this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now at AMHQ, a live look at New York City. Not quite officially fall just yet. Might feel like it for you, though, as you step out the front door. 61 degrees right now. Fair skies. It's going to be partly sunny today, and those temperatures warming up into the mid-70s, and hundreds of thousands of people focusing on our changing planet this week in New York City. It's Climate Week 2015, culminating with the Pope's visit to the U.S. and the UN General Assembly. The Weather Channel's Reagan Medji shows us how the changes start with faces you don't know.
Me with dark hair.
Her resume as an activist hangs on the walls inside her Queens apartment.
The March for Nuclear Disarmament, where we had, I honestly believe, 1 million people.
Leslie Kagan can tack up another environmental achievement after this week. She spent months motivating people to be part of Climate Week New York City.
I was at a climate demonstration in Washington, and somebody had made a handmade sign, and it was the best sign. It had a picture of the Earth on it. It said, "Planet Earth, there is no plan B." People get it. It's called a climate crisis for a reason. There is a real crisis, and it needs attention.
Kagan is an organizer with People's Climate Movement, one of close to 100 organizations participating in the 7th annual Climate Action event.
We see our Earth changing, and it's a little scary, right? I have a 12-year-old son, and I want him to have a future that's as prosperous and healthy as I've been able to live, and unfortunately, it's in peril.
The week will focus on finding innovative solutions to fight climate change. It culminates on Friday when the Pope addresses the United Nations General Assembly on climate change action.
I hope that the people involved come to some concrete decisions, and I hope that they don't push it off until the next meeting. I hope this isn't just for publicity.
Kagan is listening and believes the People's Climate Movement she organizes has some answers, hoping global leaders will pay attention.
There are solutions. Literally millions of people all over the world who are saying our lives depend on this.
In New York, Reagan Medji, The Weather Channel.
And as far as records go, 2015, the hottest year so far. And coming up at 8:10 Eastern, we're going to talk to Climate Central about 2015 being the hottest year on record. And you can see all of the areas where it was the warmest on record. A couple areas in blue, but the red far outweighs the blue. And we do know that it is going to be warm across parts of the U.S. today. Let's go to Jennifer Delgado with a closer look at your forecast for the Midwest. Jen?
Yeah, you kind of wonder what 2016 is going to bring if we're the hottest so far this year. And you're right, we have seen actually some warmer temperatures, but you had a little break from the summertime feel after a front came to town. As we show you for Chicago right now, 57 degrees. You're waking up to clear skies. What a difference a week makes with sunrise and sunset. You can see the difference there, because this time last week we were seeing a bit more light. As we look ahead for Chicago, average high should be 73 degrees. You are perfectly normal today. You're in the blue. But as we show you for tomorrow, Wednesday, you are going to see those temperatures warming right back up. And we're going to see this across many parts of the Midwest and even into the Northeast. As we show you, winds coming in. We actually have a ridge of high pressure setting up for areas up to the north. And this is allowing those winds come in from the east, but they're also coming in from the south. But as we go through the afternoon, they're really going to be surging across parts of the plains, kicking those temperatures up in some of these locations, 10 to 15 degrees. That's why you're seeing the orange there. And really all this is just rotating right around the ridge. As we show you for today, 73 degrees in Marquette, 73 in Chicago, 81 in St. Louis. Temperatures very comfortable. But as we show you the jet stream, it's all the way up towards the north. So this ridge will continue to build. And this is where we're going to see really some very nice conditions. As we go through midweek, your temperatures running 5 to 10, I'll even say 15 degrees above average, especially where we're seeing the brighter shades of the yellow. For tomorrow, we're bumping those numbers up to 84 for St. Louis and 86 in Kansas City. Wednesday, 79 degrees in Chicago, 75 degrees in Minneapolis. You typically should be seeing temperatures more like what you see for now, typically, as opposed to what you're seeing for, say, late July. As we look ahead for Minneapolis, your average high should be 70 degrees. For today, 78. Tomorrow, 74. And then on Thursday, behind that next front, we'll start to see some rain and cooler temperatures. Chris.
This is the time of year we also start to see some cool pictures.
Yeah.
Right? Of the fall leaves and
leaves.
beautiful blue
Send 'em in.
skies. Yes. Let's go right now to Anaritis Rodriguez, who is tracking your posts and pictures this morning. Anaritis.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Good morning to you at home. The Emmys still trending across a number of social platforms, and they were red hot. And we're not talking about how good looking the celebrities were. The scorching heat baking the celebrities on the red carpet. Our experts say it was 98 degrees. That was the high in downtown LA yesterday, and that's 15 degrees above average. We did break record highs in a number of places like Long Beach and Burbank, but aside from donning, you know, the Dolce & Gabbana and the Gucci, they were donning electric fans. We saw a lot of electric fans on the red carpet. Former Miss Universe Olivia Culpo almost fainted on the red carpet. You can notice one of the Entertainment Tonight's hosts just wiping the sweat off of his forehead. And Mario Lopez sharing this picture of his shirt absolutely drenched in sweat. We saw a lot of celebrities talk about not only the heat, but also climate change. And if you noticed the green ribbons on them, it was to support climate change action now. Keep sending us those pictures throughout the day. Use the hashtag MyWeather and talk to us on Twitter. We're talking rain right after your logo on the 8s.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature too.
Überlegene Technik. Konkurrenzlose Leistung. Ein Auto würdig der Autobahn. Einen Moment. Das ist nicht die Autobahn. Das ist Detroit.
Performance is now an American thing. The new 2016 Chrysler 200, America's import.
It's more than the cloud. It's security and flexibility. It's where great ideas and vital data are stored. With CenturyLink, you get advanced technology solutions from a trusted IT partner, including cloud and hosting services, all backed by an industry-leading broadband network and people committed to helping you grow your business. You get a company that's more than just the sum of its parts. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
With the pain and swelling of my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, ordinary objects often seemed intimidating.
Doing something simple meant enduring a lot of pain.
If RA is changing your view of everyday things, Orencia may help. Orencia works differently by targeting a source of RA early in the inflammation process. For many, Orencia provides long-term relief of RA symptoms. It's helped new RA patients and those not helped enough by other treatments. Do not take Orencia with another biologic medicine for RA due to an increased risk of serious infection. Serious side effects can occur, including fatal infections. Cases of lymphoma and lung cancer have been reported. Tell your doctor if you're prone to or have any infection like an open sore, the flu, or a history of COPD, a chronic lung disease. Orencia may worsen your COPD. If you're not getting the relief you need, ask your doctor about Orencia. Orencia. See your RA in a different way.
What's up with this weather, huh?
Today's weather? Well, I'd get things done this morning because we've got some big changes rolling through this afternoon. Jen Delgado, let's show her where these storms are coming from.
We'll be seeing some heavy rains this afternoon, possibly causing some flooding downtown. So the kids' soccer practice, well, likely it's going to be a wet one, Sam.
That should get you started on your day. So now back to you.
Back to me.
Sam Champion on the Weather Channel. Weather precise.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, cloudy early with some sunshine this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to AMHQ. Right now, 19 minutes past the hour, and you're looking at a nice view of Miami right now, but we've had some active weather over the last couple of days. A not so sunny look at South Florida after a round of very heavy rainfall came yesterday. This is your view of Miami, and the storms moved in over the weekend as we forecasted. Now, pop-up showers hit Friday and Saturday. If you went down there for the weekend, you're thinking, how did this happen to me? Well, about 2 inches of rain came down last night, 200 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. Right around 8 o'clock, right around the time you're thinking about going to bed, or maybe you were watching the Emmys. Miami needs all the help they can get, though. Even though they got 2 inches, they are still 10 inches below average. It is still dealing with a severe drought. Well, Chris rain, of course, is moving in across parts of the Mississippi Valley. Will any of that make it into Florida today? You're going to be tracking the timing for us.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. And it is a beautiful start today in Florida. Let's take a look, though, where it is raining right now. If you're heading out the door, where you could run into some of that rain on the roads. And it looks like your best chance for that right now is going to be in Mississippi and parts of Alabama, especially here in the yellow areas, yellow and orange. That's showing us where the radar's picking up some of the heavier rain. Let's go ahead right now. Take a look right here. See New Orleans? Let's see what New Orleans looks like right now live. We have a live picture we can take here in the French Quarter. Not looking too bad. Looks dry for the moment. Maybe a little bit of leftover puddle there, but overall things not looking too bad. Let's go take another look right now at the radar and where there are some storms currently associated with some of the rain that we're seeing. You can see we have the lightning on here as well. This gives us an idea of some of the more intense storms that are happening right now throughout parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Now what we're doing, we're going to look at what the computer is showing us the radar is going to look like later on. So where the rain is going to be and the timing for it. So here's the time right here, going through at 7 o'clock this morning Eastern time, and through the day, Montgomery, you're going to have a chance for that before lunchtime. And then this is a bit of a question mark right now. We're not looking at a big rain event by any means for Atlanta, but there is a possibility for some of that rain to get through. Also, parts of southern Georgia into South Carolina, parts of North Carolina also going to be in the chance for some rain today. So as far as Columbia, South Carolina is concerned, your best chance for some of the showers and the thunderstorms are going to be probably after dinner time. If you eat around 5 or 6, it's going to be between 7 and 11, the best chance for the storms, and still a chance for showers even after midnight there. So now we're looking at another situation. It could end up being a real serious situation in the Southwest. We know that if you get some very heavy rain, you could end up with some flash flooding, but we add tropical moisture into it. We could have some serious flooding happening here. This is the water vapor. So this shows us the moisture in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. And you can kind of see right here, the more colors essentially showing up here, that gives you an idea where you have even more moisture. So you have this available moisture in the atmosphere that if you get these clouds and these storms to develop, is really just going to dump here throughout parts of the Southwest. We have to watch that. And then also moving into the plains, we're going to see some of that moisture as well. And there is, by midweek, a chance for some severe weather. So it is possible we are going to see some of the stronger storms later in the week. Does include spotty hail, possibly some damaging winds. And this goes here, you can see from Kansas all the way up into parts of Minnesota and the Dakotas as well. But anywhere here in orange or red, there's a chance for some thunderstorms on Wednesday. And Jen, this is the area also where we start to see a little bit of orange and red for a different reason. Leaves starting to change.
That's right. We're starting to see some of that fall foliage changing over. And we're going to take you over to the wall, and we're going to show you how we've actually been seeing this and some of the motives. Let's take a look at the image here. You're thinking, well, what's going on here? This is a view of the Adirondacks. And if you notice this little green area here, kind of looks like your thumbprint. That is actually the fall foliage. This image comes from September 15th, and we had to use the 15th because it's been cloudy out. We wanted to show you a clear view so you can really capture to see some of those leaves changing over. And as we go through the next couple days after this cool start this morning, we'll see some big improvement. For the Northeast right now, we just have some patchy reports you can see for parts of the Adirondacks, the White Mountains, as well as the Green Mountains. But we look across parts of Mount Washington, and we've actually see some of the valley fog. Here's the view here, and you can almost pick out some of the changing of the colors of the leaves. But I promise you, just be patient. You'll start to see more. Maybe if you're planning a trip to go check out some of the fall foliage. Right now, 41 degrees. Mount Washington is always cold there. It feels like 36. As we move that ahead, we talk about the peak times for fall foliage. For late September, it's coming. We're getting close to that for the Adirondacks, up towards parts of New England. And then you notice it comes later the farther south you go, and that includes New York as well as parts of New England like Boston. Now coming back, we're going to talk more about the rain and the flooding threat across parts of the West, and some geese have an unusual.
AT&T and DirecTV are now one, which means you can watch movies while you're on the move, sitcoms while you sit on those, and even Fargo in Fargo. Binge while you lose weight, and enjoy a good cliffhanger while you hang from a why am I yelling. The revolution will not only be televised, the revolution will be mobilized. Introducing the all-in-one plan, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
I've been a king. I've had my life and the world on a string. I've traveled many roads, but I'm so far from done. Good to know there's so much to live for.
This is perfect, celebrating our anniversary with a strawberry shortcake shake.
Yeah, I got the strawberry shortcake cone. Wait, what anniversary?
Of coming here yesterday?
Our one-day anniversary.
You totally forgot.
No, I didn't forget.
Gosh, so you didn't get me anything.
I did. No, I remembered, and I got you this.
Oh, man, what is it?
Go ahead, open it up.
Is it a watch?
No, it's not a watch.
Oh, man, you know I needed a watch.
Have your cake and drink it too. New ice cream cake, shakes, and cones. And don't forget half-price slushes every day at happy hour. This is how you Sonic.
I'm going down to the land of wonder. Apple trees to sit under.
Yoplait Plenty with oats, flax, and pumpkin seeds. Greek yogurt packed full of goodness.
Hi, I'm Hall of Fame catcher Johnny Bench. Now, I may have retired, but I'm definitely still active. That's why for over 10 years I've used Blue Emu Super Strength Cream so I can still do the things I love and the things I don't.
Laundry can wreak havoc on our clothes, ruining them forever. Sweaters stretch into muumuus, and pilled cardigans become pets. But it's not you, it's the laundry. Protect your clothes from stretching, fading, and fuzz with Downy Fabric Conditioner. It not only softens and freshens, it helps protect clothes from the damage of the wash. So your favorite clothes stay your favorite clothes. Downy Fabric Conditioner. Wash in the wow.
At the Friskies Playhouse, the cats and us are always busy, thinking of new ways to make treat time fun. That's how we came up with new Friskies Pull and Play. With tender string treats cats can eat. That part was their idea. Lucy always thought string should be edible. Chloe thought the same. And Charlie, well, he's up for anything, as long as it's fun. New Friskies Pull and Play with tender strings. The whole new way to treat and play.
Hey, McMillan, you gelling?
I'm gelling and Zinfandel, and so's my new bride, Helen McMillan.
I'm so happy my eyes are welling.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make your feet feel outrageously comfortable.
I'm gelling.
You're so not gelling.
Dr. Scholl's.
Very intense right now.
Oh my God.
That's blacked out. This is so cool.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees with foggy conditions. Today, cloudy early with some sunshine this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds, low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here.
Let's talk about that.
Let's lift the base of this.
You're about to see something you have never seen on television before.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour on this Monday, you're watching America's Morning Headquarters on the Weather Channel. And you know, he may not have a beak or feathers, but this Frenchman, look at him flying with the birds. This is an amazing video. The man flying an ultra-light aircraft alongside a flock of geese. This all happening in China. And as you can see, it went off without a hitch. He's been doing this a long time, though, about 15 years. So he's gotten some practice.
You know, Greg Forbes told me he did that one time.
No way.
Yes.
Wait, which
You're
bit?
serious?
Which bit?
Flying on one of these.
With the geese or without the geese?
No, without
the geese. Oh, I was like, really? It is pretty impressive how they just fly in formation with him. And, you know, he doesn't bug them at all. He's like, you're our leader. We follow you.
That is pretty cool.
Wasn't that funny? But it was true. I thought it was funny. Thank you. All right, cities we're watching.
Let's
Good
take a
morning.
look at some. Let's start off with Atlanta. What do you say? Waking up with some clouds right now and 68 degrees.
Right, you know, we've had so much sunshine. I'm okay with a few clouds.
Are you? Yeah, especially this time of year. It's too hot, you know?
What?
Yeah. 80
It's way comfortable, Michael.
Huh? Well, 80 degrees is
talking
fine.
about
I'm saying if there were no
Michael Lowry.
clouds, you're talking 85, 86 degrees. Look, it's almost October, guys. I'm ready for fall.
You're like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
All right, how about this? This is a nice looking scene
Yeah,
here.
that's a
And
place
is
to
this better for you? 46 degrees, Michael?
It's a little too chilly. It's like a Goldilocks thing for me.
Yeah, so what is your
Too
range?
hot,
How about the
cold.
70s? 70s isn't bad.
Yeah,
That's good enough.
That'll work right there. 70s will work as highs.
Cool for me.
Not everywhere this nice, though. We do have some storms in the Midwest. And Jennifer Delgado now gets us started with the big picture. What are you seeing?
Yeah, you know, what we're going to see is another pattern. We have a cold front coming through, and that's going to be triggering some unsettled weather across parts of the Midwest. We're giving you early warning. As we show you the maps on the floor, a lot of the rain right now concentrated across parts of the southeast and then the southwest. You're going to get active. Just wait a moment as we get to that. As we look at the storm threat for today, it is going to be pretty quiet, but as we head into midweek, the storms are going to be flaring up right along the cold front that's going to be coming to town. We're going to see this from North Platte as well as into Minneapolis and Des Moines. At the same time, all that moisture coming in from parts of the southwest, it's going to be pulled into that as well. So it's going to kick that moisture all the way up towards parts of the northern plains. And then we talk about the heat. This is actually going to be the first week of fall. It starts on Wednesday, the autumnal equinox, but it's not going to feel like it. It's still going to feel like summer. Temperatures running 5 to 15 degrees above average, even some parts 15. But look how far north this goes. As the jet stream is going to be all the way up towards the north, we'll see it for areas including Chicago, as well as even into parts of Vermont. And then we go across parts of the west. You saw the video of people at the Emmys actually just sweating it out. Well, all that moisture that's going to be coming out of the southwest, just think of AC Slater sweat, that's going to be making its way eventually up towards the plain. We're going to time this out for you for Phoenix as well as Albuquerque. You'll see that moisture working through as we go late tonight as well as in tomorrow. Chris, I see you over there smiling. And then for Tuesday, Colorado Springs, and then Wednesday, all the way up towards northern parts of the plains. I'm just telling you the truth.
How often do you think of AC Slater's sweat?
I don't. He didn't do it for me.
He didn't do it for you?
He didn't do it
Still
for me.
does it?
No.
Okay.
He does it for a lot of people, though.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you have more?
No.
That's
we're done.
it?
That's
Okay.
it. You
All right.
focused on the AC.
All right now, let's go to Ana Reyes Rodriguez, who's getting you in front of the news with this morning's The Headlines.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning to you at home. The Pope heads to the U.S. That's first in your Monday morning headlines. Today is the final full day in Cuba for Pope Francis. President Obama will greet him when his plane arrives outside Washington tomorrow. Thursday, the Pope addresses a joint meeting of Congress. One Republican congressman reportedly will boycott to protest what he calls the Pope's leftist views on climate change. We head to the Pacific Northwest. A new wildfire burning in Monterey County, California has killed one person and damaged or destroyed 10 homes. Hundreds of people who live in and around the small community of Jamesburg have been forced from their homes. Listen to this. 10 rowers are safe and dry this morning. Rescuers pulled them from the East River in New York Sunday. Their boat overturned in choppy waves. 2 of those rescued had gotten engaged just moments before the boat sank. Chris, the guy, says he held onto the ring when the boat flipped and put it on his fiance's finger when both got to shore. That'll be a story that they're going to share for the rest of their lives.
That's one of these, too.
I know. Thankfully, everyone's okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, stay with us here on AMHQ. We know farming can be one of the toughest jobs in the country, and it's even more of a challenge for people with disabilities. And thankfully, these farmers have some help. We're going to introduce you to them. That's coming up after your local on the 8th. But right now, let's go ahead and take a live look at the nation's capital, the Capitol building, in fact, in Washington, D.C.
We have some clouds out, and we're going to be looking at some light rain trying to move in. Nothing severe, but certainly a big change in comparison to what they saw over the weekend. Now we show you the forecast for D.C. 70 degrees today. Tomorrow, we're going to break up some of those clouds. 77 by Wednesday, hump day.
And the first day of fall.
82 degrees.
82 degrees.
It's not
Not bad. No, it's not. But it's not going to feel, the good news, it's not going to feel like the middle of summer either.
Nope.
Which can be a little too much.
Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at the severe weather threat across parts of the Southwest.
But now another look at Washington, D.C.
If you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
When is your flu shot more than a flu shot? When it helps give a life-saving vaccine to a child in need in a developing country. Thanks to customers like you, Walgreens Get a Shot, Give a Shot program has helped provide 7 million vaccines. Make your flu shot make a world of difference. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Centrum brings us the biggest news in multivitamin history. A moment when something so familiar becomes something so new. Introducing new Centrum Vitamins, a multivitamin that contains a full spectrum of essential nutrients you enjoy like a mint. New Centrum Vitamins, the coolest way yet to get your multivitamins.
Sleep. Remember when it welcomed you like a friend? Then it became more elusive. But why? When you have insomnia, it may affect the wake neurotransmitters in your brain, disrupting your wake and sleep messages. Balsamra is a prescription medicine for adults who have trouble falling or staying asleep. Balsamra is thought to help turn down wake messages by targeting and inhibiting the action of orexin, a neurotransmitter that plays a central role in sending wake messages. Only Balsamra works this way.
Do not take Balsamra if you have narcolepsy. When taking Balsamra, don't drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully awake. Walking, eating, driving, or engaging in other activities while asleep without remembering it the next day have been reported. Balsamra should not be taken together with alcohol. Abnormal behaviors may include aggressiveness, confusion, agitation, or hallucinations. The temporary inability to move while falling asleep or waking up and temporary leg weakness have also been reported. In depressed patients, worsening depression, including risk of suicide, may occur. Alcohol may increase these risks. Side effects include next-day drowsiness.
Sleep. Ask your doctor about Balsamra.
Right on cue.
It's more than just a meal. It's Meow Mix Mealtime. With great taste and 100% complete nutrition, it's the only one cats ask for by name.
We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy early with some sunshine this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
In today's Farmers Forecast, farmers with disabilities are getting a little help from some remarkable working dogs. Farm Dog USA is an organization that matches disabled farmers in Missouri with donated or rescued dogs. They say it's remarkable how much dogs can help around a farm by retrieving buckets, picking up tools, helping with mobility, and even opening gates.
For sure.
Meanwhile, we are keeping our eyes on the southwest, and the upper low is bringing in some deep tropical moisture. Let's go to Jen with that. There's a threat for flash flooding, Jen, we have to be really concerned about here.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this last week. We said, hey, across parts of the southwest, we wanted to give you early warning. And even the National Weather Service in Phoenix put out these warnings even as far out as Friday. Today, we do have the flash flood watch in effect. High temperatures today are going to be near 90 degrees, so you're not going to see a lot of movement as you're starting off the morning with 81 degrees. So let's get right to it today. We are looking at that severe weather threat for areas, not just Phoenix, but we're going to add it into southern parts of California. Pointing this out to you, you got burn scars, recent fires from last week, making it even worse. The other part of it is the canyons. This is going to allow for problems just like what we saw out of Utah last week. This is going to encounter the area even for Albuquerque. But look at the surge of moisture that is trying to cross the border, already producing some rain. Look at this sharp cloud shield, right? And then up towards the north, we have another front. That front is going to tap into that moisture and kick it into parts of the Midwest and plains as we get into midweek. But we have to focus on now. Here's the rain coming down across parts of Mexico, creeping into Arizona. Now, as we show you, you're dry and you're quiet. But as we go through the afternoon and evening, we're going to start to see some of the rain and the thunderstorms starting to pop up. That includes you, Phoenix, as well as Tucson. This is noontime. As we go right around drive time, some heavier moisture coming through Tucson. As far east as El Paso. Notice for Vegas, you're going to stay dry, but for San Diego, rain for you. Los Angeles, you're not going to get any rain out of this. It's mainly going to be down towards the south. But as we show you the forecast for tonight, thunderstorms around any of these locations could be looking at 2 or more inches of rainfall. When you're talking about a very dry ground, it causes the runoff, and that leads to the flash flooding. Tomorrow, we're going to start to see this making a more easterly progression. And if you notice, we're going to kind of shut it off a bit more for areas including southern parts of California. But as we go through Wednesday, anywhere through these regions, isolated spots, 3 to 5 inches of rainfall, Las Cruces as well as into Albuquerque. We're looking at you as well. As we move this ahead and we look at the forecast for Phoenix, Monday, isolated storms around. Tuesday, the same. Wednesday, we're going to be dry. Temperature 94 degrees, and by the end of the week, we're going to start to see those numbers building up once again, getting very close to the triple digits. We just got to get through the next couple days.
Yeah, I've got to see how that's going to play out, all that moisture coming in from the Pacific. Jen, thank you for that. An already quiet hurricane season in the Atlantic could end more quickly than normal. Hurricane expert Dr. Greg Postel explains what's happening.
Well, are we going to have an early end to the hurricane season? Well, we have some things to consider now that we're in a strong El Nino. Let's have a look at typically what that means for the end of a hurricane season. Going back and looking at the records, this plot or this graph shows you the El Nino strength versus when the last Atlantic named storm occurred. With strong El Ninos in history, the average last date has been October 18th. But going down to this list here, to the weak El Ninos, the average last date is a couple of weeks later, like November 3rd, and overall the average is November 5th. So with this graph, you get the sense that the strong El Ninos tend to put an end to the hurricane season a little bit earlier than otherwise. So does that factor in this year? Well, let's have a look at why that might be the case. Well, what we've got is in a map here showing you the typical origins and tracks for October tropical cyclones, tropical storms, and hurricanes. The area of development is typically in the Caribbean and or Gulf of Mexico, other places as well, but focus in on this area because this is where we get a lot of them late in the season. Well, it turns out that El Niños oftentimes have very strong wind shear at that time in the October-November timeframe in precisely that area. So that would make it hard for hurricanes to survive in that part of the world. Going back, for example, to 1997, the most recent strong El Nino, this is a map of wind shear anomalies, how strong it was compared to average. And I'll tell you what, looking at this map, there was a lot of strong wind shear all across the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean. Going to another strong El Nino year back in 1982 in October. What did the wind shear pattern look like in that part of the world? Very different, no doubt about that. Every El Nino is different. I always say that, but still, the idea is that there was a lot of wind shear out in this part of the world as well. So when you put some of the pieces of the puzzle together, you get the sense that maybe one of the reasons why El Nino wants to shut down the hurricane season early is because of the wind shear is a little bit stronger than average in those places that the tropical cyclones come from that time of year. Back to you.
Thanks, Greg. And Anna Redis, another nice weekend in the Northeast.
Yeah, you know, the first full day of fall coming later on this week on Wednesday. And people in the Northeast trying to enjoy as much as they can of those last days of summer. We got this shot out of Falmouth Beach. I'm loving the bird. He's reading a book. Great. Enjoy it while you can. We leave you with an image of Chicago. You have severe storms later this week. Look at the shot of lightning from Barry Butler.
Farmers Forecast, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion? The Ram ProMaster van. And introducing the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you run the town. Ram.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, isn't it time to let the real you shine through? Introducing Otezla, a Premolast. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. Some people who took Otezla saw 75% clearer skin after 4 months. And Otezla's prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't take Otezla if you are allergic to any of its ingredients. Otezla may increase the risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Side effects may include diarrhea, nausea, upper respiratory tract infection, and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ask your doctor about Otezla today. Otezla. Show more of you.
I love you. Love you too.
One minute. We need to do this, yes.
Letting go.
I'll say a word.
It's a little easier when you've saved for college with State Farm.
Square's always been straight up. They say, hey, this is what we're charging, and that's it. It's like a handshake. American Express, MasterCard, Visa. Regardless of the credit card, the fee is the same across the board. The money's there right away. The money's there. Square has been a big part of helping the barbershop club go to the next level and mature in many ways. We're in it for the long haul.
Accept all major credit cards with Square and get your money fast. Get your free card reader at square.com.
Hey, are you watching TV? Yep. With the USA Now app, I can watch Playing House before it airs. It's the best ever.
Actually, vinyl's the best ever.
I have all the latest shows right at my fingertips.
Well, I have at least 6 tracks at my fingertips.
I can watch my shows whenever I want.
Well, I can listen to my records like wherever I want. probably should have seen that coming.
We're geeking out on what's happening in weather, how it happens, and why it's so freaking cool.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy early with some sunshine this afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Tonight, some clouds. Low 73. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 87. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And welcome back to AMHQ, 49 minutes past the hour. How about this unique look at Pluto? NASA releasing a new animation video. It's a flyover of Pluto. Well, the animation was made using hundreds of images sent back by the New Horizons spacecraft during its mid-July flyby. Now it shows Pluto's surface from a height of, get this, 120 miles. Now, a research scientist at the Southwest Research Institute in Boulder says they primarily use the images of the New Horizon to map craters on Pluto's surface and its largest moon. Pretty cool.
It is cool. You can see some of those craters.
You could see them.
That's pretty impressive stuff. Just to the concept of getting those pictures, right? So far away.
The animation, that's where it's taking it up a notch.
Yeah, it certainly is cool. You know what? Who else is taking it up a notch right now? Always. Hurricane specialist and storm surge expert Michael Lowry, keeping an eye on the tropics. Bam!
That's right, Chris. Yes, they have a few things going on in the tropics we have to get to today, including another low pressure area that's hanging off the coast here of the United States. Here we are in the east. There's the Carolinas, and that over there is what's left of what was Invest 96L. We were watching that last week, and I was telling you on Friday, I was thinking this was going to skirt out to sea. It did, but behind it, and you can't really see it on this, we'll get a few glimpses of our visible picture in a minute, but there is another area of spin in its wake. What happened is it just didn't tighten up. So it was broad, and while this is going to be moving off to the northeast, this area of low pressure, this one down here is going to fester for a little bit. And anytime you get low pressure or spins that fester over warm water, especially this time of year, there's the possibility of seeing some sort of tropical development. So let's kind of time this out for everybody, especially those folks that live here in the Carolinas and into parts of southeastern Georgia. Here we are today. Most of this weather is going to stay offshore, so today you're going to be fine. But there's a big ridge of high pressure to the north. That's going to block this from moving to the north. There's an upper level sort of cutoff low that's going to develop here over the southeast. That's going to sort of tug this back toward the coast. So all of that rain and weather is going to be moving back toward the Carolinas come the middle part of the week, say on Wednesday, and also increasing the winds onshore between the high pressure to the north and that low pressure to the south. So we're going to see the rip current risk. We're going to see the potential of some minor coastal flooding, just sort of a blustery, ugly late week to the areas there in the East Coast. But we have very strong winds here at the upper part of the atmosphere moving from south to north. That's going to prevent anything from developing, I think, tropically here over the next few days. But something to watch as we go through the middle part of the week. Not a whole lot happening here in the tropics. Really today we have Tropical Storm Ida. This one's going to be turning out to sea. No threat to the U.S. from this. But let's go to the Pacific Ocean because this is an interesting story we've been talking about all morning. And if you wake up in Arizona and you sort of sniff the air, it feels awfully tropical. Look at these dew points here. 73, 70-degree dew points there in southern Arizona, even in parts of southern California. That is tropical air. It's the type of air you see in South Florida, not in the Southwest. What this is all courtesy of is a tropical depression. When you look at the water vapor picture, there's a big spin here just off the coast, just to the west of the Baja Peninsula. And this area of thunderstorms here That is Tropical Depression 16. 35-mile-per-hour winds, so it's not really a big thing in terms of an organized tropical system. But you can see there are a lot of thunderstorms with this, not that far from Arizona. In fact, some of these weather already making it into parts of southern Arizona. That low-level moisture, in addition to the mid-level moisture, going to be streaming up into the desert southwest, especially the mountains and the desert areas today, and then maybe into early tomorrow. That's the forecast cone. Shouldn't be an organized tropical system once it gets up here. But that moisture, all of that rainfall is going to be moving into parts of the desert southwest, and we have flash flood watches up for much of this region. I think that most of the rainfall is going to be really concentrated here into southeastern Arizona, into parts of New Mexico. We could see some weather here into southern Arizona, but that's going to be more of a localized type rainfall. So let's time this one out using our future radar. Here we are today, and notice that really rich tropical rainfall, not just the moisture. A lot of times we say it's the mid-level moisture, it's the high-level moisture that peels off into the southwest. But in this case, you're actually going to get the direct moisture from the tropical depression, or at that point, it'll probably be a tropical disturbance. So I think really the most of the rainfall that we're going to get out of this is going to be the afternoon, evening hours for the showers and thunderstorms. Tucson area into Phoenix, maybe even up into Phoenix, and even as far north as Albuquerque, Chris, for the evening hours here. The heavy rainfall threat will continue again, though, into tomorrow morning with this one. Back to you.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. We are talking El Nino because it is being blamed for bringing more to the California coast than just some warm water and more rain. Take a look at this coming up on AMHQ. Why more and different sharks are being spotted cruising up and down the Pacific coast. And right now, a look at Philadelphia, where it is 64 degrees.
Hey neighbor, LED bulbs can last for over 20 years and save hundreds of dollars on your energy bill. So stop by your neighborhood Ace now and get an LED dimmable indoor reflector bonus pack with 2 free bulbs.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Hello? It's Dr. Moreno's office. Can you come in to talk about your biopsy results and bring someone with you?
Sign up for the walk and raise money so no one has to walk alone.
Well, if it isn't the belle of the ball.
Gentlemen, you look well.
What's new, Flo?
Well, a Name Your Price tool went missing last week.
Name your what now?
It gives you coverage options based on your budget. I just hope whoever stole it knows that it only works at Progressive.com.
So you can't use it to just buy stuff? No. I'm sorry, Gustav. We have to go back to the pet store. He's gonna meet us there.
The Name Your Price tool, still only at Progressive.com. Look like this, feel like this. Look like this, feel like this. With Dreamwalk insoles, turn shoes that can be a pain into comfortable ones. Their soft cushioning support means you can look like this and feel like this. Dreamwalk.
Did you know that meeting your daily protein needs actually helps to support your muscle health? Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink can help you get the protein you need. Each serving has 15 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, plus 26 vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D, to support strong bones. Boost High Protein is the #1 selling high-protein complete nutritional drink, and it has a great taste, guaranteed. Help get the nutrition you need every day with Boost High Protein.
Available at these fine retailers.
Hurry in! Buy one, take one is back. Tonight, enjoy breadsticks, salad, and your choice of entrees, like smoked mozzarella chicken. Then take home another entree for tomorrow free.